Oh, hey, bitch. Oh, excuse you. Baloney wash. I'm annoyed. I'm just here to give my opinion and carry in. Oh, it's Chris Avalon Unfiltered, bitch. Hey, y'all. Welcome and happy Wednesday. I almost forgot what day it was. Welcome to a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered, the show where we talk about all things going on in celebrity news and hot topics and entertainment and all that good stuff. So that's the show for you. Definitely stick around because we got a lot of tea to spill. But not a lot. It's like 10 topics. Today was a little slow in regards to trying to find stuff. So yeah, if that's the show for you, definitely stick around for that. And also, if you can, please hit that like button and that subscribe button. Also, smash the notification bell so that way you know when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. We got a lot of tea to spill and regarding Anthony Mackie coming under fire over something he said about Captain America. This is Captain America, Brave New World, Backlash. Whatever, we'll get into it. There's a rumor regarding Denzel Washington and who he might be playing in upcoming Black Panther 3 film. Damien Leone actually dropped something on his Instagram about an hour ago regarding Terrifier 4. We're going to get into that. Plus, speaking of things we need to get into, we got to get into that Diddy documentary that came out yesterday, that 5-part documentary. Shall I gag? Now, yeah, I'm gonna say my overall thoughts for when we get to that. Plus, we got an update on DJ Akademiks and his Twitch page because remember that situation that happened with him and that 15-year-old. We got an update on that. ASAP Rocky is on trial, and if he's convicted, could spend a quarter of a damn century in jail. 25 years he could be going to jail, and so we need to talk about that. Charli XCX, we got some news on her, why she won't be performing at the Brit Awards, but she will be at the Grammys next Sunday. Zoe Saldana, she was just nominated for Best Supporting Actress for Emilia Pérez, but now an old film that she made where there was a whole blackface backlash has come back to haunt her, and it seems like people are trying to throw that as a wrench for her to not get an Oscar. So we're going to talk about that. Plus, Amber Rose out here still grifting. Now she want to sit up here and talk about why she being, open up why she was being canceled because she was supporting who, the orange turd. And last but certainly not least, we got an Austin Wolf court update. I'm a edge all of it with that one. So yeah, we have that and a whole lot more in case anything else comes out in regards to the stories. So yeah. If y'all can, please hit that like button and that subscribe button and smash that notification bell, please and thank you. Let me hit my banner. Okay, I'll say, so now I see, well, nobody's in the comments so far, so we'll just, I guess, get right into the show. So our first topic, let's get into this Anthony Mackie story because he had to clarify some stuff. Apparently, people got all pissed off about him for someone to, in regards to the film. First of all, I already got my tickets to this Brave New World movie, even though, there hasn't really been any reviews on it yet, but I know like because of the overall reshoots, and they were saying that they've spent a lot of money on it, but from what I heard, they didn't really spend a whole lot of money on it. I think they spent like 150 million, but I guess that would still be considered a lot to be making, this type of film. But nevertheless, you know what? I'm going to go with support it because I'm a Captain America fan. I want to see Anthony Mackie win, even though Anthony Mackie is like a really good actor, I really do not see him as someone who is a movie star, like someone who is, can stand out and carry a film. He's good at supporting and all that stuff, but we'll watch the movie and we'll see if he can actually, carry a film on his own, even though we got Red Hulk and we got other characters that'll be making an appearance. So Deadline is revealing some tea in regards of, he was apparently promoting the film in Rome. And he basically said that America was not a term that Captain America represented because I guess, some people, y'all just be too on the damn nose in regards to what y'all think that Captain America represents America. And it's like, no, he represents, I guess if we take a page out of Superman, true justice in the American way, like he's all about, and then again, if you say the American way, then it's all about America, right? And I think that a lot of times the problem, which of course we have going on in our politics right now, America seems to think that we're the only country in the world that's better than everybody else. And I'll be looking at certain countries, I'm like, well, damn, you want to know something? So a lot of these countries got better off to us. Their rent is not as expensive, but their buildings look awesome. Like they get a whole lot for very little. The food isn't expensive. Like I got friends who live in Spain that tell me that it's inexpensive, but they got nice places. The food isn't as expensive. They have medical insurance. They're not even paying for it. So people are living a lot more relaxed, healthier, longer lives. Whereas we all out here fighting each other, stressed out, while we got oligarchs out here just taking everything. But America's supposed to be the greatest country in the world, right? So anyway, he basically was just saying like, yeah, he's about more than that. He's about being honor, it's about honor and integrity and that sort of thing. So here's what he actually said. He said, to me, Captain America represents a lot of different things that I don't think the term America should be one of those representations. He said it's about a man who keeps his word, who has honor, dignity, and integrity, someone who is trustworthy and dependable, which is all the things that Steve Rogers was when we watched him for over the many superhero movies, well, the many Captain America and Avengers films that he was a part of. It was about a person who embodies a certain characteristic about themselves and upholds the best standards of what it's like to be a human being. It's not about representing a place, not representing only America, because he went against the government, who we found out was run by Hydra, which, if you kind of look at it, there's a lot of similarities into the political thriller aspect of Captain America that kind of resonates in our country's policies. So, the development of the comic book films and everything else, it kind of resonates in it's a lot of what is it, life imitating art type of situation. But I think the thing, so many people are just so damn dense that they don't see it. So yeah, apparently people got upset for what he was saying, and I guess they were probably trying to accuse him of being anti-American, which I don't think that's what he was doing. He was basically saying like it's about who Captain America represents as a person, he's a superhero and he has these superhuman powers and all this other stuff. But at the end of the day, who he represents is why people resonate so much with him. Because me, when we had Civil War, Captain America Civil War, I was team Captain America. I was not team Tony Stark, and a lot of like the belief system and what he was going for. So when they had us like choosing sides, I was very much team Captain America because I believe and I wholeheartedly agree in a lot of the characteristics that he was embodying playing that person, which is, yes, he is about honor, dignity, and integrity. And if you don't have honor, dignity, integrity, and people can keep you at your word and you don't just say one thing but do something completely different, like why would you even want to represent or be represented by somebody who embodies the negative characteristics, somebody who lies to you, someone who will sit up in your face and tell you, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this and this for you, and then they betray you? Like, who wants to be around dishonest people? I don't, but it seems like the people that are all for that, their voices seem to be a lot louder in a lot of these situations. So yeah, this was his tweet, basically, well, his Instagram's post that he did, or it might have been a story. So he said, "Let me be clear about this. I'm a proud American, and taking the shield of a hero like Cap is the honor of a lifetime. I have the utmost respect for those who serve and have served our country. Cap has universal characteristics that people all over the world can relate to." And that's what another thing too. I think that when people hear Captain America, I just can't believe that we're sitting here having a conversation about this, and people are just so stupid that they don't realize, like, Captain America, yeah, he represents America. I'm like, no, he doesn't. He's a universal character. Because if it was just Captain America, then if you took the movie to China, if you took the movie to all these other places around the world, they would not have related to the film, and the films would have flopped at the box office. So why do y'all sit and think that everything only is specifically to you? That's not how things work. So um, I didn't take offense to what Anthony Mackie said, and I don't understand why people are taking offense to what he said. But I feel like that, you know what, we're in a time now where people just want to be angry and upset about every minute little thing that someone says, and we can't even have a conversation without people was respectfully disagreeing with what other people say without people taking it personal or wanting to fight or do something. So Um, I think with people, we need to also take it back to a time where, Mackie basically in 2016, he discussed the importance of having Black superheroes because, when people make these arguments about what, I don't know, there's been conversations in regards to like, I was having a conversation with a friend about the Rogue situation that was like, Kiki Palmer can play her. And then somebody got mad, was like, no, well, then if that's the case, we need to have Sydney Sweeney play Storm. And it's like, no, that doesn't make sense. Like, why would you have someone who was deliberately made as a Black character? You want to change it up to white because a character that you've known all your life as white in a comic or wherever else can't be changed. Their race can't be changed. And who says that they can't? Because certain characters, if their race and their culture isn't embedded in who they are, then you can pretty much play around with different characters and change up their characteristics. But if a character is deliberately made to represent a certain group of people, it's like, yeah, they're there for a reason. So, and maybe this is a time where we need to rejudge back to 2016 on what Mackie said. And he said, I think we live in a day and age now where little Black kids feel they can't connect to a character who doesn't look like them, or little girls feel like they can't connect to a character who's a guy because they're just different. Everybody's so personal nowadays. It's not so much about connecting to an emotion or an idea. It's more so connecting about someone who looks like you. And yeah, and when we were growing up, that's what we had to deal with because there wasn't a lot of diversity in comic book film. Well, comic book films pretty much were trash until like X-Men. Like once we got around to X-Men, that's when the comic book movies, well, I would say Blade. Blade was the kickoff. But then we had X-Men, and that's when we started seeing like, okay, there's a little. I mean, there was a couple of bad apples in between there too, but for the most part, we started to see the pendulum swing where the comic book movies started getting taken seriously and they were better. But yeah, so we had to deal with it just being, you know, an emotion or an idea. Now it's like kids want to see, and not just kids, but people in general, they just want to see someone that represents who they are and looks like that, excuse me, looks like them on the screen. And then you get these freaking trolls that want to talk about woke this and woke that. It's like, well, you know what? Maybe you don't get it because you've never had to encounter or deal with not having people that look like you on the screen, especially if you're someone who's white. White people walk out the door and don't have to have a care in the world about anybody representing them on a screen or whatever because you've had that y'all entire lives. You've always been, y'all can walk out the door and just be told you could be mid, but greatness doesn't have to be aspired to because you're told you're great out your mama's coochie. The minute y'all come out, a lot of us have to strive to get bigger and better opportunities and to strive for bigger and better things. So when we don't get those, when we get that little bit of representation, we're just happy to get what we got. So I just don't understand why people, start the whole woke thing and all the other mess. But anyway, I feel like I'm starting to get off the topic a little bit when it kind of links with the topic. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story in regards to what Anthony Mackie said? I think it's much ado about nothing. I don't know why people getting all their panties in a bunch over this. I don't think he said anything remotely bad because I don't think that Captain America is only a representation of America. He's not something who represents a place. He's not somebody who just, well, oh yeah, I'm just here to represent America. Kind of like when they had that big government UN situation where, T'Challa and T'Chaka had to go represent, you know, Wakanda. That's not what that is. Captain America don't walk in the room and be like, yeah, I'm here to represent America. Like, no, he is someone who fights for the common person. He's the one who does the right thing when he's told to do the government. When you're working for the government and they're telling you to do one thing, it's like, no, but that's not what I'm going to sit up in here and do. I'm here to do the right thing, not what you political whatever want to use me as a little pawn in whatever scheme y'all got going on. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Laura says, I'm here. My mom got me tickets to see Katy Perry for my birthday. Oh, yeah. When I saw you said you was going early, I'm like, I'm actually shocked you was going to that. But that's good that you got tickets to go see her. So I applaud her team for making it affordable. My mom wanted the floor, but I'm sure it's sold out. But Well, I was gonna sit there and say when I saw that you had the 100s, I was like, oh, that's kind of close. Here's the thing. I keep telling people all the time. I think a lot of people only get the floor tickets because they want to floss. They want to make it seem like, oh yeah, I got money. Like, oh, I get to be to the stage and da da da. No, let me tell you, going high because of the way that the arena slope, have a better chance of enjoying the show a whole lot more in the 100s because you get to be on a level where you get to see the stage, you get to see all this stuff. People are not going to be in your way. You ain't got to worry about that. When you're on the floor, it's a flat surface. You got the stage. I can't tell you how many times people don't want to move in. People complain about, um, well, I can't see. You don't want to try to move. I'm like, well, sis, sorry, but those are the tickets you bought, and that's where you got to stay. And so you got to deal with that annoying part. And so it's much better if you're in an area where the seats slope up because you're in the arena versus being on the floor where the chairs is all flat and then you have the stage and it's hard for you to see a whole lot of things. So um like you said, the 100s is good. Okay, so now let's get into from one superhero topic to another. And there's been a rumor floating around, and I saw this earlier on Comic Book Movie. So let's take this with a grain of salt. This has not been confirmed. Look, first of all, we got to get Ryan Coogler's other movie to come out first, Sinners, before we even get a Black Panther 3. So y'all already know back in 2024, while promoting Gladiator 2, Denzel Washington let it slip that director Ryan Coogler was writing a role for him in Black Panther 3. But according to a scooper by the name of At My Time to Shine H, he's basically running around saying that he may have an idea of who the villain is going to be playing, is going to be in, or villains are going to be in Black Panther 3. Like I said before, this has not been confirmed. So we're just here to entertain this situation, especially since it's been a slow news day. So I was like, I had to pull this one in real quick. And y'all know we all Black Panther fans over here, so we could talk about it. So but there was alluding, it's not necessarily saying that Denzel might be playing the part, but when I looked at the picture of this guy, I'm like, I could totally see Denzel playing this part because he kind of resembles him. He looks a little older. He got big teeth, like Denzel. I don't want to be shady, but Denzel got some big ass teeth, quiet as it's kept. And so basically, they were saying like, yeah, he's playing this character. I don't know how to say his name, so forgive me if I say it wrong. Achebe or Akebe. We'll go with Achebe or Achebe because you know how you gotta say it like the Africans. So they said he's going to be one of the antagonists. Now, the character was created by Christopher Priest and Mark Texiera. The villain debuted in 1999 and has been described as by the former as the Joker to Black Panther's Batman. Because you know what, when we look at Black Panther, he kind of reminds me of a Batman type of character, except he takes, something to give him his superpowers. And then he has like the cool suits and all that other stuff, and the gadgets, which is created by his sister. But yeah, he does give Batman tease with his character. Now they said Achebe, we'll just say it like that for the rest of the show, is a brilliant strategist and manipulator. Hailing from Nigeria, he is a master of psychological warfare and is known for his ability to twist people's minds, causing chaos and manipulation on a grand scale. His goals typically revolve around destabilizing Wakanda's leadership and exploiting its resources for his own gain. So he has major ties to Mephisto, which Mephisto is rumored to be a villain in, I forget. I think it might be in Secret Wars or one of those films that they're talking about that it's going to be. He might pop up, but there's no confirmation with that either. So we'll just take that, as we said, with a grain of salt as well. Now, while far from confirmed, we heard according to Comic Book Movie, they said they've heard rumblings that this might be the role Washington has signed up for. So yeah, so then we also have this picture here, which I saw and I was like, yeah, it basically tells you what his powers and abilities is. It said that he's a gifted genius, talents such as ventriloquism, proficient use of explosive devices, athletic enough to mimic movement of Black Panther, skilled politician, skilled acrobat with exceptional ability, rebel anarchist, and it says empowered by Mephisto. So I know a lot of people will probably be like, well, how's Denzel gonna be up in there doing that fight choreography? Have you not seen him in the oh my god, what's the name of that show that Queen Latifah does? That the Equalizer. He be up in there doing them stunts, and here's the thing: nobody said, well, they say acrobatic and stuff. Y'all could basically, do the CGI thing with his face and put it on a stunt guy and have them do all the crazy stuff. I know a lot of people be like, as far as like, how you got that old man in there? First of all, black don't crack. Denzel do not look like he's 70, so he could basically pull that off. So, if that is the role that he ends up playing and signs up for, I would definitely be here for it. Now, there's another story that's been going on in regards to Black Panther 3 as well. And the rumor is that Tenoch Huerta, who Tenoch Huerta Mejia, I should say, that's his full name, who y'all know played Namor in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, they're saying that he's also set to return for Black Panther 3. Now, they said that character has not been seen since Wakanda Forever, and Huerta got, as y'all probably remember, or if not, I'll refresh your memory. He did get caught up in accusations of sexual misconduct in 2023, but since that whole accusation stuff came out, nothing seems to have come of it. So I'm guessing he's in the clear. Because if y'all haven't sat up in here and said that there was some kind of whatever going on with that, then I don't think there's anything going on with that situation. So we should all just move on from it, in my opinion. Now they also said that Letitia Wright was asked about her MCU future late last year, and despite playing coy, all but confirmed that she'll return to the role of Shuri in Avengers Doomsday. And they said if it's let's just say the actor T's clearly choosing her words carefully, I would like to continue with Shuri. She's one of my favorite characters, such a blessing, honestly. I kid you not. I'm so grateful for her. There's a lot coming up. And they also said that in other MCU news, there's a lot of MCU stuff that I guess we could just lump up in here. Daniel Rickman shared a minor vision update and said that shooting will begin earlier this year with a young teenager set to serve as the show's co-head. Wait, a young teenager is set to serve as the show's co-head? Is that a co-headliner? So I guess they're bringing a kid in that's going to surround it by it. And they said the insider also reiterates previous reports about Jarvis and Friday factoring into the Disney series. So we'll see about all of that. I don't necessarily know if I'm 110% on board about a Vision series, but if they can make it interesting, I'll watch it. But then again, like I've said, Disney, y'all have kind of disappointed me in regards of your content and the stuff that y'all been putting out there as a show. So I really haven't been all that excited about the shows. Like I didn't even finish um that Star Wars series with the kids. I still haven't even finished that. I watched like 4 episodes and I was just like, as everybody's saying this show was good, I'm entertained by it, but I don't care enough to go back to it. It's just Disney, y'all kind of been disappointed me with a lot of y'all programs, so I'm not overly excited by this. But who knows? Maybe when Daredevil Born Again comes on, it'll revitalize my interest in Disney Plus again. But I'm paying for it, even though I don't care about the majority of the content on there. I guess because I got FOMO. But in regards to all of this, if Denzel is playing this villain sounds pretty interesting and really cool. Like I would definitely love to see this character. I'm sure he could definitely pull off a Nigerian accent. If not, you better get and start practicing. But the man has 2 Oscars, so he could pull this off. And I would like to see him play this type of character. So I would like to see him play a villain in that universe. I don't think we get enough Denzel as a villain parts in a lot of the stuff he does. And I would definitely love to see Tenoch back as Namor. I would like to see more of Namor in the MCU and see what they can give him. I know some people didn't really particularly care for him as an antagonist, but I liked him. I thought, well, first of all, he's good looking, and then on top of that, I like the costume, and then the other part was just I was just thoroughly enjoying like his performance and stuff. So I would like to see more of him in the MCU or just in anything that he decides to do. So yeah, that's the latest that we have on that. My question for you guys is this: what do you think of this rumor going around that Denzel Washington could be playing the next villain in Black Panther 3? And they're saying that Namor could be coming back. And I don't know in what capacity, but they're going to bring him back and possibly in Black Panther 3. I don't even think there's a script even being developed yet. I don't know how far Ryan Coogler has gotten along with it, but yeah, these are all rumors, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Okay. You said Arizona appoints first Black and Latina state Supreme Court justices. Well, hopefully they're not Trumpers. Did you see the video of RFK Jr. VP, a billionaire, by divorcing a Google founder, threatened people who wouldn't vote him in by election interference? Why is it always that y'all be out here threatening people? Are these damn politics? Like, look, if you people are gonna be in working government and y'all gonna be walking around spineless, then maybe what y'all need to do is just quit. Stop working in government if y'all can't do the job that people actually swore y'all in to do. We're gonna be the ones extremely hard to get. Oh, wait, who is? Oh, extremely hard to get sworn in. I'm glad you I'll take your word for it because I've been meaning to get around to the new season of Goosebumps. And I was talking to it about it with a friend of mine yesterday, but we never got around. But it was like I never got around to watching it. Also, the new Spider-Man series, I definitely want to get around to watching that eventually. I heard it's gotten pretty good reviews. It's got a 100% for critic score, so everybody's saying it's pretty good. And I definitely want to check that series out. So, but yeah, eventually I'll get around to Goosebumps. Sometimes I'd be so overwhelmed with all these shows; it's just be hard to sit around to get around to actually watching them. Okay, so now let's get into another movie news story, our final one. So Damien Leone, who y'all know is behind the Terrifier franchise, has given us an update on Terrifier and well, Terrifier 4, because that's what he's going to be working on. And I'm pretty much excited for this because y'all know I love my horror films. I love the Terrifier series. I believe that Terrifier 3 is coming to Screambox in I think in March. That's a little too far, but I guess, sometimes we need that. We got to wait that long for the damn streaming and stuff to come through. But anyway, I was like, why is this thing blurry? Hopefully it clears out. Oh, thank you. Finally. So, as movies like Captain America, The First Avenger, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and The Godfather Part 2 have proven, audiences love a good origin story. So now, shout out to Damien Leone because today is his birthday. So happy birthday to him. And he's basically celebrating by giving his fans a little present. So he basically took to Instagram and said the following, because I have his Instagram post here. He said, "Thank you all so much for the amazing birthday wishes. I'm truly blessed to know so many wonderful human beings. I might as well take the advantage of this day and give all the Terrifier fans a little present in return." He said the script for Terrifier 4 is underway and is shaping up to be the most epic, horrifying, thrilling, emotional, and satisfying conclusion to the Terrifier saga. I've personally never been so excited to see one of my own scripts translate to the screen like this one. P.S. I will finally reveal Art's origin in this entry. Thank you all again. So he gave us a confirmation because, a lot of times, somebody said my anxiety until I read this script. I think she's actually in the film. But look, a lot of people seem to be really excited about it. I'm really excited about it. And I'm glad that he let us know this because I remember like when Terrifier 3 was all the rage and all the horror movie aficionados were on social media compartmental like picking it apart and giving, oh yeah, well we're definitely gonna get a Terrifier 4, which Damien has alluded to. And they were saying that hopefully we get a little bit more of Art's origin. Which I don't think we pretty much got a lot of that in the other one because I understand we had to focus on Sienna and the aftermath of what she had to endure in Terrifier 2, along with her brother, Jonathan and that sort of thing. So I'm glad that we're kind of getting this origin thing. I know there's some people that just love Terrifier for the gore. It's like, yeah, the gore is great. I enjoy watching those scenes, but I also, as a horror movie fan, I like getting into the character development and getting to know a lot of these characters who are part of this universe. I don't just want carnage candy in a movie. To me, that gets kind of boring. I mean, they did that a lot when I would watch movies like coming up like slasher films from the 80s and stuff, but I feel like we're in a time now where we've actually found that good balance of you can put in gore along with, you can give us carnage candy along with um character development. And so I'm excited for this. Now, here's the thing that I'm hoping, because 22, if he's on working on the script right now, then hopefully we can. I'm hoping that he can get the ball rolling and then we can have it by 2026. Because look, we be getting Scream 7 in 2026, and I'm sure there's other horror films that we're looking forward to that's going to come out in 2026. But if we don't get it, then I'm like, then we're gonna have to wait till 2027, or maybe we can get it in 2020, like late 2026, because I'm sure it's not going to take Damien Leone long to film this movie. So hopefully I'll just like take your time, give us a good script, make sure all your I's and dotted and your T's are crossed. We haven't steered me wrong so far. I've liked all the Terrifier movies so far, so I trust that you're going to give us something good. Now, of course, I should say David Howard Thornton and Lauren Lavera are set to reprise their roles as Art the Clown and Final Girl Sienna Shore, respectively. Now, for those of you not familiar, Leone launched Terrifier in 2016, followed by Terrifier 2 in 2022. Terrifier 3 opened at #1 at the box office last October, becoming the highest grossing unrated film of all time. And I'm glad to say I was a part of that movement, because I went to the theater to see this movie. And like, I was like, I need to be there in the moment to see this damn film. I didn't want no spoilers. I was going to go celebrate and support this film. So, because I'd never gotten to see the other Terrifiers in a theater, even though I've wanted to, but I never had the opportunity. And I think it was because I'm not until the third one, it was really hard to go try to see Terrifier in a theater. So, well, a theater where near me. So I'm glad that I got to the opportunity to see that. But I should also point out, not only are we getting, oh, that was my bad. First of all, February 14th is when we're getting the series is coming to, well, Terrifier 3 is coming to Screenbox on February 14th, which is Valentine's Day. And that's a good day because there's a lot of movies coming out on Valentine's Day. Hard Eyes is another one I'm looking forward to seeing. So I'm going to make it a double feature. I'm going to go to the theater and I'm going to see Hard Eyes, and then I'm going to bring my ass home and watch Terrifier 3. But I think what I messed up, I made the mistake, because on March 14th, there is something coming out dealing with the Terrifier franchise in March, and that would be this documentary that Damien Leone did on Terrifier called Art Attack, the dissection of Terrifier 3. So that's coming to Screenbox on March 14th. So he's definitely keeping us fed until this franchise, until we get the fourth one. So I ask all my Terrifier fans, what do y'all think of this story? You guys excited for Terrifier 4? And what do you think is gonna, transpire? I mean, I'm sure that, because Sienna's niece is missing, she's got to go try to find her. She's probably getting to know more of her past and the sword, the thing that Art actually she could use to defeat him and that sort of thing. So we probably can get more into the backstory of her father and the drawing of the look that she would dress up as, and how she was able to have the strength to defeat him, and the supernatural connection that they have and that sort of thing. So I'm really looking forward to that backstory, as well as more on Art's backstory. I also feel like this movie is probably going to be pretty long, like around the 2 hour mark. I just hope people don't complain like y'all did with Terrifier 2, that it was 2.5 hours and everybody's getting restless. I'm like, whatever. I'd rather a 2 hour slasher movie than a 90-minute one where it's just a bunch of crap thrown in and there's no payoff. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. I'm laughing at Cleveland's comment. He said another J6 is shot and not alive. You want to know something? Should this be the plot of Final Destination 7? All the January 6s, y'all get out of jail because y'all thought that that pardon was a get out of jail free card, and where y'all not gonna go back to jail. Oh no, he only pardoned y'all for that shit that y'all did. Now now you thinking, oh, I'm gonna just keep doing dumb stuff so that way I can go back. And it's like a lot of the January 6s that ended up dead. So it's that, that unidentified deity, entity, whatever you want to call it, that's coming for y'all. And that's what it seemed like. I'm glad I didn't bring my Oh, you didn't like the film either. First of all, Terrifier 3, there were some scenes I'm like, oh, come on. Like, especially the scene with the glass. Y'all know the scene? The mirror. the piece of the mirror and a certain masturbation sequence. I'm like, ma'am, really? Are we doing this? I was like, where does Damien Leone come up with this? Let's be friends. I was like, yeah, there was a lot of things in that movie that I was just like, I can't. So you said, let's bring then wait, what? Them going to hell? You couldn't write all this in one thing. You said the purge, pardon predators. Okay. You know what? I've always wanted to like the Purge movies, but I feel like the idea was better, always better than the execution of the franchise. It was like, I see where y'all going with this, but y'all are really scared to go there with this commentary because we all knew it was rooted in racism and classism and all those things. Like, if that's what y'all gonna go there for, then really go there. But it's like y'all come up with the idea, but y'all were just scared to really go into it. I'm like, no, there ain't no half stepping. You said the chainsaw penetration. Oh no, when they put that up his ass, when he put that chainsaw up that boy ass, I was like, okay, I'm through. Truth Teller says the FBI needs to take DJ. Okay. I was about to say they need to do him like they did Austin Wolf. They need to swoop in that apartment or whether he had in Jersey and go through his stuff because the Twitch ban ain't enough. If they want to call it, to me, that's like a smack on the hand. But we'll get into that story. That's the one. Well, we have that one coming up after we talk about the Diddler. So let's get into this Diddler story. So yesterday, well, actually today, that's not one of the reasons why I was on late. I actually went out and ate. I was at a Mexican restaurant with a friend. So we went and ate and walked around a little bit. And then I came home and I just had to put the show together. But I spent the entire morning that I was up. I watched all 5 episodes of The Fall of Diddy documentary that was on, docu-series, I should say, that was on Investigation Discovery. And one of the things I will say that I really noticed, because I told y'all when I watched the one from Peacock, the Peacock one felt rushed. And you could definitely tell based off of, if you want to put both together in regards to me looking at this one that came out, this Diddy documentary that just came out on HBO Max versus the one that was on Peacock, you could definitely tell they just threw some shit together and was hoping they can compile a story. They went into so much detail in this one regarding of everything from like his coming up, how his mother treated him. Like she was like, oh no, you need to, like, if you're gonna get bullied, whatever, no, you need to go out there and get it back. So she was aspiring him to greatness. So she was like, I ain't gonna have no punk in my house, whatever the case was. And it just seemed like that a lot of his triggers stem from his childhood, especially like if he didn't get what he wanted, he was throwing a fit. They even had footage of him throwing stuff around his office, throwing and having a fit. I'm like, how do I get this video? But they look. This was a well put together docu-series. So if you have not seen it, definitely check it out. D Woods came in and told her side of the story, and she even came for like defended Aubrey and was saying that she thinks the reason why that her and Aubrey were fired was because he wanted to exude dominance. Aubrey, she said that Aubrey was getting inappropriate videos like porn and all kinds of other stuff from Diddy because Diddy was trying to have sex with her and she would not comply. And then that's why he said on Making the Band when, before he fired Aubrey, that I don't like how I'm coming in here being all sexy, da 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 da. And it's like, but you was trying to sex up the girls in the show, but she was being overtly a little too sexy and this and the other. I think you just didn't like it because she was outspoken. And when you watched throughout this episode, they kept drilling in your head. It was like, yeah, anybody who went against him, especially like women and stuff, he was vehemently rude and disrespectful. They interviewed his chef, she said that he put hands on her because he was like getting on nasty with her, and she said she actually told him that she quit. He got enraged and pushed her, but she said pushed her so hard she slid through the door. Then it was talking about the whole thing with Cassie. There was multiple people that said that they witnessed him put hands on her, including, and Chow even had the driver of the person who was there the night that Suge Knight and him and Diddy pow-powed up in the club, the driver even was interviewed and said how, and this is what I didn't know, but then again, I think maybe we did talk about this, how Jennifer Lopez was the other woman while he was with Kim Porter. So he was over here talking about Kim Porter's the love of his life, but I told her there's a pattern with him. When he was with Kim Porter was with Albie Shore, which we got that part from the other documentary that I saw, not this one that was on HBO or the ID one. They didn't even bring up Albie Shore. They said that she was working at Uptown. He saw her whenever he would get off the elevator and was like, I got to have her. So that's what all that came from. But then I think it was like in the last episode, we started to hear from Diddy's assistant, who was talking about that Diddy forced him to have sex with some girl during one of their freak-offs, and didn't even mention, damn, I forgot, I should have wrote down what they actually called it, but it wasn't even mentioned as a freak-off. There was something that they called it where it was like whenever they would rent out the hotels and they would do all kinds of sexual stuff and stuff that was up in there, what he labeled it as, and how he had his own little Ghislaine Maxwell. So yeah, but that's why I was saying, like, you want to know something? The Quiet on Set people, because those are the producers that was behind that one. They did a fabulous job putting this series together. So, they spoke to a lot of people. So they spoke to his ex-girlfriend, Kat Passion. I think that's how you say her name, where she basically said that he forced himself on her in 2021 when he was under the influence of Tootsie. So, which is that pink booger sugar that I've been telling y'all about. But she said that she didn't want to get with him at first because she said that I heard rumors about you. He said, what the streets saying? He said that you be out here beating on people and all this other stuff. And he tried to laugh it off. And then it was one time where they got into an argument and he made it like he was going to put his hands around her neck, but didn't fully go there and then retract it. And I think that's what she thought, like, okay, he's not going to really do it. But then the next time he did something else. And they said, like, yeah, he assaulted her because he was under the influence of drugs at the time. And then revealed at one time that they was in the room watching Surviving R. Kelly. This was the gag for me. When they was up in there watching Surviving R. Kelly, and he said, while she was watching it, he walks up in the room and says, everybody got a little R. Kelly in them sometimes, and walk right back the fuck out. I said, oh, hell no. Because I tell you this, I don't have no R. Kelly up in me. I don't be out here thinking about assaulting people, especially little kids. So yeah, she said he's in the bathroom for hours and I'm sleeping and he comes out and wakes me up. And yeah, she wound up getting with him after he split with Cassie. She said, he's telling me I can't go to sleep. He's expecting X, Y, and Z from me, and he forces himself on me. So then she also said that she didn't want to go into further detail about the incident, but it wasn't consensual, and said the person who came out of that bathroom and woke me up was someone I didn't even recognize. His whole tone, everything changed. And then we had another woman. I wish in this whole situation, I wish that I would have had, the full notes of the Indian chick that basically said that she was R-worded on the pool table. And that whole thing, that she went into further details about that. I think I told you, they was interviewing a whole lot of people. They even interviewed this guy from his childhood that was interviewed also in the other documentary that I saw that was on Peacock. They brought him in here too. So there was a multitude of some of the people you've seen. And they even had the girl from Vibe magazine, where he basically threatened him because she wanted to see the cover of where he was in the Angel Wings. I think it was Sylvia Rome. What's her name? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. And how he threatened to. He said, "I will put you in the back of in the trunk of a car." Like he was gonna kill her and stuff. Like he was literally walking out here. And this is what I said. Growing up, a lot of these rappers, they took from Scarface and The Godfather. Those were the movies that they looked up to and they aspired to, especially when you were talking about like gangster rap and hip hop. And another thing I did not know is they were trying to do with the whole East Coast, West Coast thing, because I was way too young. I was like a little kid when all of that was going on. So I didn't really understand what that was, but I had no idea that they were trying to create a East Coast version of Death Row Records. And that's where Diddy got pissed off, because it's like, oh, here's Suge Knight come trying to poach my territory. And y'all already know Diddy was very territorial when it came to his stake in the music business and hip hop culture, and when it came to people, especially when he literally, we saw, like, as they broke it down, how he groomed Cassie. He had no intention of that girl making music. He wanted to get up on her to make her his little slave. And she didn't see it because he was showering her with gifts and all this other stuff, taking her out to the club. And then talked about the time when Diddy and Jennifer Lopez got up in the car after that incident happened, and they even interviewed a girl that got shot in the face that had been talking about for decades that Diddy was the one that pow-powed her in the face. How Sean got set up, and that was the thing they alluded to as well, that people will go in trusting that this man was this big icon. A lot of people aspired to be Diddy because that is the truth. A lot of people at that time coming up wanted to be like Diddy, wanted to work for him, wanted to be in that whole inner circle, in that inner circle. And he took advantage of that by taking advantage of people. So people sending you their children hoping that, you know what, because Diddy made it, it became this big, mogul, that my child being up under him could have those same successes. But Diddy was selfish. Diddy was over here taking everybody's damn publishing, making all that money. Yeah, he was the face of Bad Boy, but he acted like he was the only face. So a lot of them went around being broke. And then, when it came down to Danity Kane, he got on D Woods about her weight. First of all, she wasn't even fat. And the girl sitting there cackling while he talking about she a biscuit. Well, did he say a biscuit away? First of all, I used to hear that term all the time. Like, I knew a friend of mine who used to always say, "Oh, you a biscuit away, you a biscuit away." Not to me, but that was always a term that I had heard. So when you go and say something like that, "Oh, you a biscuit away," or whatever the case is, like, a biscuit away from what? First of all, she was not fat. You do know that black women have ass and hips, and you being a black man, your ass should have known that. How are you not aware that women have curves? Or is it because you was always fucking exotic women that you didn't, except for maybe Kim Porter, but Kim Porter was a stick figure. She was skinny and a model. So you wasn't out here with girls with thighs and ass, apparently, unless it was a Jennifer Lopez, because that's that's a girl with, exotic features, and all the other women that you was with. So yeah, eventually I'm gonna get to this other thing, but I just want to give y'all a rundown of some of the stuff that's in, the story, which I think that y'all should see it if y'all do. Yeah, so there was another woman that he had assaulted allegedly named Thalia Graves, and she was in the documentary as well, and she had her stories. And funny enough, people can sit up here and say, "Oh, it's a lie, and this and that and that and that." I believe every damn word, because here's the thing: there have been many situations that Diddy has gotten into and has gotten away with it. They called him Teflon Don, which isn't that what we call? Which sounds familiar, don't it? Because don't we call a certain somebody who's running this country into the goddamn ground Teflon Don? Diddy has similarities. When you have someone with a lot of money and a lot of power and a lot of influence, that with all of that, you can get away with anything. He got away with, except paying them off, the little stampede that happened at the basketball game, the celebrity basketball game, where people pushed through because they didn't make sure that they had the proper security to cut off and let people know that we can't fit all of y'all up in this school, and people died. Then it was the shooting at the club, where Diddy was talking about when he got arrested, Jennifer Lopez got arrested because we seen her mugshot too, and the driver, how Diddy was trying to bribe the driver. "Oh, I'll give you $100K if you take this bid and say that it was yours." And then he said he wouldn't do it. So then he was like trying to nudge him and mumble under his breath to take the pinky ring. He said, "Oh, I'm good for it. Just to let you know I'm good for it, take the ring as collateral." And then the guy had to end up testifying against him, but Diddy ended up getting off. So then you saw that. Then it was a multitude of things. So Diddy has always done things. His anger has always gotten the best of him. There was never anybody to hold him back and tell him and keep him, at bay. There were no guardrails on him. When you have a lot of money, a lot of power, and all the other stuff, there ain't nobody there to tell you to calm down, to keep the anger at bay. Because they're all looking the other way. They're all trying to get a piece of whatever they want to get a piece of. So who's going to be there to do all of that? And people are there just trying to get a piece of what you have. So there's going to be loyalty and all the other stuff. So yeah. So then also, she went and told that. And then there was another woman who basically spoke about when he was at Howard University, how he was beating a wall with a belt and told a girl to come downstairs and was started beating on her, and the people was telling him to get off her. So this has been going on since he was in college. But it kind of makes me wonder where this comes from. But then there was another person who was a part of this, DeWitt Gilmore, said that Combs and his associates shot at him on a Harlem street in 1996 because he had on a Death Row East t-shirt, which is like what I was alluding to before, where I didn't even know there was a whole situation where Suge was trying to come over to the East Coast and poach him some rappers, which Diddy didn't like. So then, yeah, there was, so it wasn't Sylvia Rohn, it was Danielle Smith, who worked at Vibe magazine. And he basically threatened her because she said, we don't show the cover. We don't give you a preview of the article until it's out. But he didn't want to hear that because Diddy was all about being a narcissist and controlling his ego. And speaking of narcissism, one of the producers of I Want to Work for Diddy said that to become a narcissist, to work with a narcissist, you have to become one. So when they were working on that show, he said he met up with Diddy at his hotel. Diddy comes into the room with his towel, his robe open, butt ass naked, exposing himself. So yeah, the woman who was pow-powed in the face at the nightclub pow-powing, it's these damn algorithms over on YouTube. So, we got to be careful what we say over here. Her name was Natanya Griffin. So her story has never changed. She went and testified against him and said that she was retaliated against in so many ways, like intimidated. She had to keep moving a lot. Like I remember even when this whole Diddy arrest situation came out, she spoke out again and her story has never changed. And then his former bodyguard, Roger Bonds, also revealed that he witnessed Combs put pause on Ventura back in 2009. And at one point was like, yeah, he said, I took her, put her in the car. I took Diddy, threw him in the car. And then they in the backseat while I'm driving, they fighting still. So yeah, then when people say, oh, I don't believe her, she's trying to take a black man down, that was another thing they were saying back in the day too. That y'all over here, y'all trying to take a black man down. Why am I trying to take down a black man? Why it always got to be that? Sometimes people just be freaking monsters. It shouldn't matter the race. They're just horrible people in the world. They just so happen to have a lot of money and power. And Diddy was one of those. So at what point are we going to protect people instead of trying to always make excuses because you want to aspire to the other? So to get into this story, because I'm just giving you a breakdown of all the other stuff that was going on. Before I get into that, let me fill y'all in for the rest. So yeah, there was Natanya Griffin. I told you about that. Roger Bonds allegedly said he witnessed Combs punch and kick Ventura back in 2009. Other participants included Combs' driver the night of the club shooting, which I told y'all about, Wardell Fenderson, that's his name, who testified at Combs' 2001 trial that the rapper had a gun in the car the night and offered him $50,000 to lie to the police. So it was $50,000 to lie to the police, but it was $100K that I think he said that he was going to give him for the ring as collateral. And then his chef, Jordan Chaton, I think is how you say her name, also claims Combs threatened her if she told anyone that he allegedly assaulted Ventura. So there was a lot of that over the years, and he thought that he could just buy his way out of stuff, but it seemed like karma caught up with his ass, and I truly believe that that's what's going to happen to Trump too. But to get into this story, where we have Mara S. Campo, who's on the left. She sat down and interviewed Philip Pines, who was Diddy's former personal assistant. And I think they spent majority of that episode on him, which I was like, first of all, why you look like my cousin? He looks like we could be related. Like I got cousins that look like him, and it's the the complexion and the hair. So he revealed new details about the shocking allegations he made against a disgraced hip hop mogul in a lawsuit he filed in December. Now, Pines, who allegedly worked from Combs from 2019 to 2021, is suing him for sexual battery, sexual harassment, and sex trafficking, claiming that his job duties were to enable Combs' alleged sexual activities. Now, in addition to facing a lawsuit from Pines and several others, Diddy is currently locked up in a Brooklyn jail as he awaits trial on charges of trafficking and racketeering. So, in the interview, Pines claimed loyalty was everything to Diddy, adding that the moment the disgraced musician allegedly told him to prove himself was something I won't forget. He said, "My life changed and I've never really recovered from it." Now, according to Pines, Diddy had been drinking all day. I'd be surprised if he got a liver left after all that abuse he's done to his body with them drugs and stuff. So they said that he was drinking all day before the alleged situation went down. The former assistant went on to claim he was allegedly pressured to partake in the sex party after his boss offered him alcohol. He said, "I took a shot of alcohol with them. That was his way of making sure you felt comfortable. I go back to the office, sit there, get something again, take a shot, take a shot. He's out of his mind. He's in rare form, and as we will call it." Now, tearing up, he continued, "I remember hearing the words, 'Prove your loyalty to me, your king.'" I'm like, child, this is not Black Panther. Is this your king? He said he grabbed me by the shoulders, gave me a massage like a coach would give a player that's about to enter the game, handed me a condom, pushed me to a girl that was on the couch, a guest. Pines basically claimed, he said, "I froze, you know, based off of, I guess, what he was saying, what was gonna, okay, first of all, you're getting on my nerves with this." I was like, go to the damn picture. Okay, he said, "I froze before it could take place. I didn't know what was happening. In the moment, it felt like, what is this fun for him? Is this a test for entertainment? Does he know he's doing this? Is he that gone? I didn't know what to do. She gave me consent." Yeah, nodded her head. Pine said of the woman Diddy allegedly wanted him to have sex with. He said, "I performed for a little bit and then I ran out of there as soon as I didn't see him in my sight anymore." Now, explain why he agreed. The rapper's ex-assistant claimed he saw Diddy allegedly physically assault employees who stood up to him. He said, "I saw how angry he would get from the simplest thing. I thought to myself, if I don't do this, I don't know what's going to happen." Now, Pines did say that he has a great sense of remorse about what he said happened. He also shared that he believed a bomb would explode if he ever divulged about the alleged incident, and said how he kept it from everybody. He said his significant other, his friends, his family, and stuff. And it was like, yeah, what people don't realize is that he was doing a lot of that. He was literally out here um, threatening and following through with his threats if you ever told him no. So when people go out there and say, "Well, why didn't y'all just leave? Why didn't you just do this? Why don't you just do that?" And you really think it's easy to escape someone with a lot of money, power, and influence? You think it's just like, "Oh, I could just leave some regular." I mean, half the time, y'all can't even leave y'all regular significant others when they be beating on you, because 9 times out of 10, you probably end up under, unalive. So think about somebody who has a lot of money and a lot of power and a lot of influence who can make you disappear at the drop of a hat. And people out here are hungry for some coins. So if you hit up the right people, they can make you disappear with cement, put you in the ocean with cement shoes on. Especially when D was out here living his life like he's a damn gangster, embodying all those characteristics. So he can make people go away. That's why people were afraid. Especially when it's like one girl was talking about she was going to take him to court, the chef, because of what he did. She said that she was going to take him to court and sue him. They said, well, if you do that, you're going to be blackballed. And he has the power to do that. So people have to understand the magnitude of how far people can go. So the good thing about all of this is that it took Cassie and her situation to bring down this man, because he got too damn cocky and he thought that his money and his power and all that other stuff was going to continue to have him get away with all the things he gets away with. But you have to realize that shit after a while, it gets old, and you got to do what you got to, and eventually that stuff catches up with you, and it seemed like it's finally caught up with his ass. So I say all this to say, I know this is a pretty long one, but you have to think this was like a 5-parter, so there was a lot that went into this docu-series, and I implore you, definitely, this one was a good one. So if you have HBO Max or the ID network channel, whatever the hell it's called, definitely check this one out. It was a good one. It definitely dives deep into it goes into further detail on a lot of things. And they do spend a lot of time on a lot of people and asking them and stuff. So I highly recommend this one. So whatever your thoughts are, if you have seen it, let me know in the comments. If you are looking forward to seeing it, let me know in the comments. But overall, whatever your thoughts on Diddy in this situation, let me know in the comments down below. Okay, so now we got comments. Speaking of which, um, oh yeah, I saw your comment about the weight. And he said he had to prove his loyalty to his king. Oh, Felix said that's why I said it felt more like Survivor R. Kelly because like R. Kelly, because like R. Kelly, he got away with so much for so long. He felt he was invincible, and that's what happens to a lot of them. Look, did he say we got a little R. Kelly in us, right? And look at you, went down just like him. He said, you know how maggots say we use our race, sexuality, and stuff as identity politics. They do the same thing, voting, religion. Of course it is. First of all, it's all identity politics. That's why I just be laughing because it's like, y'all don't see the dumb shit y'all be doing. And thank you for the super sticker. Yeah, this documentary made him seem like he thought of himself as a mafia king. And I've been saying that for years, even beyond observation. I was sitting there saying, how Diddy was a narcissist, he was a master manipulator, he was abusive, and he took a lot of his cues from a lot of mobster and gangster films. First of all, his father was a gangster. He didn't know that until later on. He thought something else happened to his father until he discovered later on down the road that his father was pow-powed in the head, slumped over in the car. So, I've alluded many a times that when it comes down to Diddy, that he did think of himself as sort of like trying to be like Don Corleone and all this stuff. And I also forgot to mention the MTV "Hate Me Now" music video incident. How the video that got submitted to MTV was not and I remember that story. I remember that story when the "Hate Me Now" video came out, and it was him being crucified on the cross, and it was him and Nas and that sort of thing, and that was real controversial. And I think he was pissed off at how he was being portrayed. But I'm like, sir, you sat down and approved of all of this. But I guess afterwards, I guess maybe he realized that this ain't gonna go over well. But they wound up getting the other video, and Diddy was up in there physically assaulting all this other stuff and got one damn day of anger management. I'm like, really? So when you see the outcome of how these judges would basically give him slaps on the wrist, how do you think these people would feel? Like, you can definitely see, like, once they point out the patterns and once you see how everything happened with Diddy over the years and how he just skirted by and never went to jail and everybody else basically because of his attitude and his ego, how everybody else suffered at the hands of him because they weren't as powerful as he was, and how he was constantly getting away with stuff. You could see why there was always a lot of people who weren't brave enough to speak out against him. So it totally makes sense. So yeah, there was that. There was the MTV music video situation, and then the signal that he sent out to Cassie, which I think really set her off. And that's when we got the lawsuit, and that's when we got the footage of him kicking her and beating her. Because I'm like, yeah, if you got a girl trying to escape with no shoes on, you already know she's at her breaking point. Like, this has been going on for so long that he's beaten her down, that he's broken her, which is what they do to a lot of, prostitutes. Y'all break them down. It's like that it's like slavery. Y'all buck break. When you break somebody down to the point where they're nothing, where they're less than a human, and then years later, you at the awards getting your lifetime achievement, whatever, which MTV, y'all cackled me with that one. And then you get up in there and talk about Cassie, thank you for holding me down. Oh, she held your ass down? No, she held you down to the point where she got your ass locked up. Deservedly so. Because you was trying to send out a signal. It's like you was like, oh yeah, I'm in control. And that was, I think that was a trigger. And she's like, oh no, bitch. What you don't know is over the years, I've probably been getting therapy and really getting back to the me that was so lost that I found that strength to take your ass down and took your ass down. She did. And I hope she goes and testifies against his behind because Diddy need to be thrown under the damn jail. Trump was at some, oh yeah, he was. I believe, yeah, Trump always was at whatever was going on. He was there. Melania, I believe, was there too. And I believe Jeffrey Epstein was at them parties as well. Birds of a feather. Diddy Dad was a proper mobster. He probably saw some things growing up. Josh Johnson did a set on it. He said he don't remember his father. Maybe that's a lie, but he said he don't remember anything that went on. Like he don't remember anything regarding like his father growing up because I guess he was really young. But then you never know because sometimes you might remember stuff, but it's been so suppressed down inside that it probably does come out in some ways you just not realizing it. I said, well, thank you, Cleveland, for the super sticker. I said that was the guy getting him all the. I laughed at that part when it was like the baby oil, and then the one I was like grossed out by was he was talking about the girl who was R-worded over the pool table. She said he slathered something on him and then went into her back door and then cleaned himself off and then went through the front. I was like, chill. He definitely don't get his. So all them years he was, skirting around, bobbing and weaving, staying out of prison. This is the one thing that I'm glad the courts was like, we've given him so many chances. He's gotten away with it. He is a liability and a danger if we let him out. No, he need to serve time in prison until his trial. And I'm glad they decided on that because it's like, yeah, you've gotten away with so much and you've intimidated and gone after so many other people in prior situations that you was caught up in that I wouldn't let you out. I wouldn't be surprised if, well, they said the drinks was laced, right? Even the assistant when he was talking about that he was drinking whatever that it was laced. Oh, there was another one. I forgot the producer, the one that worked on Diddy's Love album, spoke and was talking about how his drinks was laced. Okay. He definitely got a lot of art. Look, him, R. Kelly, Donald Trump, birds of a feather. I wish they would have taught the Cassie in the docuseries, but she probably got and it's probably she has I'm wondering if there's a possible gag order. Like there's some type of a deal where she can't speak. That's probably why they haven't really spoken to her. But I would love to hear as to why we haven't heard from her in regards of this case or whatever, because I'm sure there've been people who have reached out to her. Because I really think that would definitely get eyes on a lot of these programs that they can get her to spill her side of the story. But yeah, she might be a witness. That's probably why we haven't heard from her. All right, now speaking of abusers, let's talk about DJ Akademiks because apparently he's been banned on Twitch. So some people said they went over to Twitch and were looking for Akademiks. And when they went over there, they found out that you could no longer go to his site to see if he was streaming or not. And that's due to him, basically, as some people would say, was trying to groom a 15-year-old into man on boy sex. So the controversial podcast host Twist channel was disabled earlier today, January 28th, that would be yesterday, with a message on his profile reading, "This channel is currently unavailable due to a violation of Twitch's community guidelines in terms of service." Now, some have speculated that Twitch banned Akademiks after he called Aiden Ross on stream. Now, for those of you who are not aware, Twitch permanently banned Ross in 2023. Now, the backlash with all this, for those who need a reminder, he was having, Ack was having a conversation with a 15-year-old known as Nor GXD. Now, during the Fortnite stream, Akademiks made numerous inappropriate remarks. He said, "Yo, if Black Boy Max said he wanted to try effing a dude, would you let him F you?" This is what he questioned the team. As Norris seemed uncomfortable replying no, Act escalated things, further saying, "Why not?" He then spoke about being inside the boy and asked if he would smash a fellow streamer's older sister. nor then called out action marks as grooming, as he asserted. I'm 15, she's above 18. And there's something that he actually alluded to, which I feel like is worse, because it sounds like there's some stuff he's done to other people, and he alludes that he has done this before, as to try to excuse this behavior. But I'm gonna get to that in a second. But I just want to let y'all know that's coming. Now, Meek Mill, as y'all know, took the X, and we talked about, I forgot, Twitter, because we don't call it by its stupid name. We call it by its dead name. Now, Meek took to Twitter warning parents of teenagers to be on the lookout for the streamer. He said, if you're a parent, get your kid's phone and block the man. He's grooming children with a very large platform that kids like. He also attempts to ruin black families and black success daily. He called him a villain in the village. And now, at that point, he's an extremist. This is the guy spreading false info on black culture. This diabolical work. I see why he wants us to appear gay and discredit black successful men daily. This better be all. And this is what he said on his post. Now, after the backlash, Act offered an apology, if you want to call it that, because that was a bullshit-ass apology, quiet as it's kept, and described his remarks as regrettable. He said, am I wrong? I will be better. This is a teachable moment. And which I don't understand is, sir, you're in your mid-30s. This is what it takes for you to have a teachable moment. Like, you ever been around the world and long enough to know that you talking to a 15-year-old about having sex with a girl older than him, or letting a dude stick his dick in his butt is inappropriate talk? Like, this is not something that is in computed, like, from being just a functioning adult. Like, you needed something to happen to you for this to compute. Like, I just don't get it. Unless, Merv the Perv been doing this for eons. So yeah, that was the one that you see, like, if you go over to his Twitch. He said, am I wrong? I will be better. He then tried to justify, and this was the part that pissed me off, because it's like, if you talking about that you'll try to be better, that this was, this is an error in judgment, how you going to justify yourself and what you said in Nord GXD? He said, bro, it's a dude. If it was a woman, it would be very different. That's like the little bro. I used to teach my cousin, even when he was underage, like, yo, ninja, you don't got a girl? And that's like, now look, let's get into that. Because I take issue with that. Like, y'all be the ones, especially in black households, y'all be so quick to talk about gays and trans and all that is wrong. But then when you got certain parents, when you got a son who's 6, 7, 8 and above, oh, he got a bunch of girlfriends. Oh, he's a lady killer. So these little kids, they can't even get hard. You ain't even got sperm protruding in your balls, and y'all out here trying to groom y'all kids to be a lady killer or to get a girlfriend and stuff. That's not stuff these kids should be thinking about. They should be thinking about going to school and getting an education and becoming the best version of themselves that they should be. Not thinking about being a ladies' man. They're not even a man. They're kids. So when you grown saying, indoctrinating these things on children, that's grooming. That's a problem. A lot of you straight people tend to do that with your kids. And y'all need to stop that shit. And he's an example. He's saying it's about he does it to a relative in his household. Now you're doing it to some stranger on us on Twitch. So this is where we are with this. So, like, as it was stated earlier in one of the comments, well, let me go back up to that one. Because it was who was it that said it? Well, they was up in here saying basically, you know what needs to happen with Akademiks, they need to take his laptop and dig up in there and see what he got in his little arsenal. Because I would not be surprised if we got ourselves a fat, no neck, big old ugly Austin Wolf type child toucher, where you got a lot of inappropriate stuff in your arsenal. So I would not be surprised with any of that. Well, I can't find the comment, apparently. It's like when I be looking for stuff, all of a sudden when I want to find something, I can't find it. Just take my word for it. So yeah, he said, so yeah, when you say that, when you don't got a girl, this is not something kids should be worrying about. And it's not it's not the same. It's like, so talking inappropriate to a girl is bad, but talking inappropriate to a little boy is okay. When you're saying it's a dude, or if it's a girl, it'd be very different, but it's a guy, so you shouldn't be going too harsh on me. And this is exactly why we have this situation where if there are boys who are being abused, they don't talk about it or people don't take it seriously because of people like him who think the way that they think in regards, oh yeah, it's a boy, we just playing around. Oh yeah, you playing around until you actually take action and you start putting hands where they don't need to be. So let's nip it in the bud before it gets to that point. He also acknowledged Twitch's decision and said Twitch took some action because even though I wasn't streaming, that happened on their platform. Completely get it. We will work with Twitch and make it right, okay? Now, despite the suspension, he did confirm that he will continue streaming on alternative platforms. So yeah, even if his Twitch don't come back, he's still over there on Rumble, Meta, and YouTube. Where he basically said that his majority of his audience is based there. I mean, I totally understand because I stream on I stream this show on Twitch. I stream this show on YouTube, and I stream it on Facebook Live. So I got it in a multitude of places where I'm streaming. But then again, I'm not out here trying to have sex with children, whether it's a joke or not. He also asserted that the matter was settled and dismissed ongoing discussions. He rejected speculation of major fallout, insisting that his sponsorships remain intact. He said, Happy Dad is still right here. Why are you calling yourself Happy Dad? You even got kids. Is still right here, making sure you all go get the great version. Stake supports us on Twitter. Nothing has changed there, he said, pointing to continued backing from brands. While addressing the ban, he also emphasized that he respects Twitch's enforcement policies. He said Twitch respect their platform and you also have to respect their rules. And also when they take enforcement action, you can't get mad. And yeah, you need to understand that. It's like, you know what? They're doing what they got to do because it's like, yeah, with the grooming and all the stuff, yeah, you should not be up on there doing what you're doing and getting away with it. We can't just stand by and let that happen. But I also think in the future that parents need to be aware of, when these kids are just innocently playing games online. Like I literally had a friend of mine, Yuri, was telling me, and I'm about to get real graphic. Her son is 9 years old. And he was I think he was playing a game or whatever. She said he got a straight A student, whatever. He's doing whatever he's doing and stuff in school, like get homework done and everything. He's online and she hears somebody saying nigga multiple times to her son through the headphones. And she went off. So y'all need to be aware of what's going on these streaming services and who these people are and who's on there and the things that they're saying, whether it's inappropriate language towards your child based off of how they look, based off of them being Black or a person of color. And he's half Cuban and half Mexican. So he's dark skinned because his mother's Afro-Latina. So he's like a dark Cuban kid, but his father's Mexican, so they're mixed. So he's mixed. So he looks like a little Black kid, but he speaks Spanish, as dark-skinned Afro-Latinos do. So when you look, so based over them, it's like based over his features or whatever, yeah, he's going to get those terms. So it's like, so I just say, as parents, please be aware of what's going on in these streaming services because there's all kinds of crazy people out here being reckless with their mouth. And some of them might be actually trying to set up a situation with your kid that you may not be aware of. So I say all this to say, because I gave y'all my Mr. Rogers get your life together situation of the day with, protect your kids, protect them from the groomers and the crazy people out here. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story in regards to Akademiks? Do you think that they have done enough or they haven't, or they need to do a little more in regards of taking action on his behavior towards a 15-year-old on a streaming service? He's, as they say, he is definitely problematic when it comes to a lot of stuff and is a thorn in the ass of hip hop culture. But some of y'all out here like his foolishness. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. So I get to your comments. I need some water. Okay. Okay. Oh, so Felix says he'll probably get a life sentence. Yeah, Diddy ain't getting out of jail. I've been saying that. I said, sir, you seen the thing that all them times you can go up there and get out and talk about you can go up and try to get out of jail. No, you ain't getting out. Your last day of freedom was the moments before they arrested you. Lady Gaga offered multiple covers. Stop attacking Taylor Swift. It's how they make money post COVID and post streaming, and people agree that also explains expensive tickets. But according to the POC blogs, it's too demonic for them. Wait, what? I mean, Lady Gaga has a new album coming out, so it makes sense that she would be on multiple covers. Or are you talking? Well, you didn't say like multiple covers in regards of the album, but yeah, when you have an album coming out, you're a mainstream artist. You got to be on a multitude of covers. But I don't understand the whole thing where they said that according to the POC blogs, it's too demonic. Child, they should be the last ones talking about stuff being demonic. Cause y'all be out here talking about demons and grooming and all this other shit, but y'all be the main ones out here defending R. Kelly, Diddy, and so many other problematic ass men because y'all aspire to be that, rather than looking at the person being like, yeah, nobody is discrediting the huge influence that people such as R. Kelly and Diddy have had on our culture, especially hip hop culture or, music. But outside of that, they're horrible human beings. You said Mayor is paying who for suspending his accounts. Blue Sky needs to get full of videos live, but I understand that it's a little company and they didn't expect. Well, I feel like what's going to happen is we just need to, I believe in Blue Sky, so we just got to give it time. Hopefully, they'll catch on. We're like, you know what, we didn't intend for this to be this, but since we are the alternative, that we could start because Mark Zuckerberg was doing it, so why we can't? Which is you started taking from other people, you started taking other ideas and things like TikTok and all this stuff, and you started incorporating it onto your site, the reels and all that other stuff. So I don't see why it's a problem that Blue Sky can't catch up. They do offer videos, like you could put it's got to be like 60 seconds. And I feel like, yeah, the minute y'all own shit, the minute they put up live streaming, oh, it's over. I'm gonna be live streaming this show from there. I can build an audience there. Blue Sky will make sure we get the news, but not the devil. I need to go on Blue Sky more. I have it, but I just be forgetting. DOJ Pride shut down after 30 years of being a Department of Congress for safety. I'm over it. Start local communities and centers of volunteers. I never thought we'd go back, but here we are. And look, I just had a friend earlier where I was talking that I saw it, where he was saying he's so overwhelmed by what's going on in regards of all the craziness, these executive orders that Trump has signed, that he's like, well, you know what? We need to organize like community center type situations, like town halls and that sort of thing, where it's like get people together to really get people to come in and understand what the hell is going on and what we as a people can do to fight back. Because our Congress people ain't doing shit right now. I don't hear from them. I don't know what they're doing. It just seems like y'all just sitting there with, still trying to put a little iodine on them whip marks that y'all got all over your body, and y'all still in pain, just wounded in the corner in the fetal position, and we all out here trying to just keep our heads above water and figure out what's going on. Like I'm at a point where I'm even considering moving out of the United States. Like I'm at that point now. Like I have friends that's talking about moving. And I'm getting to a point, well, they are moving, but I'm at a point where I've even been considering it. Because I'm like, I can't. Like, this country it's, as much as I fight hard for everything in this country, it's becoming a goddamn joke. Most albums nowadays are released with multiple cover artworks. Target, Walmart, Urban Outfitters, exclusive covers, but Gaga isn't trying to sabotage and manipulate charts with her covers. Was that a Tay Reid? Probably. But I'm like, yeah, look, I don't think she is. I think she has 2 album covers. She's got the vinyl that I know is on her website. I think a friend of mine actually bought one of the vinyls, the limited edition vinyls and stuff. I wouldn't know what to do with a vinyl. I'd probably just have it for decoration, but it'd just be for, for the sake of having it. Okay, so let's move on, y'all. And let's get into this ASAP Rocky story because we haven't really been talking about him. But look, his trial is currently underway. There's been a lot that's been going on in regards to his trial. I believe today Rihanna has shown up in the courtroom. But I remember there was a story that had came out from the other day, because what I didn't know, and this goes to show how small the world is. Did y'all know that the cop that testified on day one of ASAP Rocky's trial was none other than Erica Jane's son? Like, I did not know that he was caught up in that. So I want to give y'all a little taste of that story, and then we'll get into the latest, because I was like, I knew there was a reason why I was like, okay, I need to save that for another day. And today is the day that I was like, okay, it's perfect time to bring it up. So her son, whose name is Tommy Zizzo, who Erica Jane actually welcomed with her first husband, Thomas Zizzo Sr., was called to the stand as one of the cops who responded to the alleged shooting. He told the court what he saw when he arrived at the scene outside of a hotel in 2021. This is according to TMZ. Now, while Tommy's mother is a Bravo celebrity, he has never made an appearance, as y'all should know, on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, because he said that was like a part of his life. He doesn't want to get caught up in that. And Erica respects that. She was like, you know what, this is my thing. This is something that I want to do. This is her. And look, she is excelling at Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. It has helped her career tremendously. And he's off doing his thing, being a cop in LA, and she's off doing her celebrity thing. And so I feel like, yes, people need to respect that. So, but the thing that's worrisome is that, ASAP turned down a plea deal that offered him 180 days behind bars, a 7-year suspended sentence, 3 years probation, and 500 hours of community service. They said he also would have had to enter a guilty plea to the most serious of the two felonies for which he was charged, assault with a semi-automatic weapon. And so he basically said that no, because it would have cost him his childhood, his livelihood. And they said, um, this would have hold on, because I was like, let me take it off. That's him as a kid, and then there he is on trial. And so they said, or on the stand, they said this would effectively end his career because he would lose all of his endorsement contracts, including Gucci, Puma, the Met Gala, and most importantly, he would not be able to tour, and his career would be over. They would have him under their thumb for over 8 years, and they have to realize too. It's like, yeah, say what you want about whatever transpired, and we're gonna get into the breakdown of what may have transpired, because I have the story on the person that he allegedly tried to pow, which is a member of the ASAP family. So, yeah, if you're going to have me doing all these things, I have all these endorsement deals. I'm a musician, so I got a tour. How am I going to provide for my family, even though his girlfriend and the mother of his 2 children is a billionaire? So she don't need his money. But still, as a man, you want to feel like that you could be able to provide for your family. So yeah, she got her billions because of Fenty Beauty and all the other Fenty things she has going on. But for him, he's got to be able to, as a man, work. And me taking this deal, I don't want to take it, because I'm not going to be able to provide or work. But you also have to realize, if you're found guilty, he may get 25 years in prison. So basically, they said that he was basically charged with pow-powing at his former friend ASAP Relly, and is facing, it was 24 years. I just added an extra year, so he has 24 years. Now, he pleaded not guilty to 2 felony counts of assault and with a semi-automatic firearm. Now, another person who is coming to his defense is none other than Al Sharpton, or I should say, the Reverend Al. So he basically says that racial bias may be at play in this case, zeroing in that his views is a critical issue. He said the fairness of the jury selection, because they said none of the selected jurors were black. The chosen jurors are white, Asian, and Hispanic, and the 4 men selected as alternate jurors were also not black. And we know at the end of the day, Asian people, Hispanic people can be racist. I have encountered dealing with people like that, not necessarily towards me, but I've seen them do it towards people who are of a darker hue than I am. So I am aware that other races can be racist, such as white folks, Asians, and Hispanics. So we're not going to sit up here and act like they can't be racist or biased when it comes to how a certain black male would look to them. And when you look at an ASAP Rocky, he do look like a goon. Although he does dress fashionably, and he's with Rihanna, and he gives you the stereotype that he could possibly be, what they would embody as a hood booger, but I don't think that's what he actually is. Well, I don't know him personally. Well, apparently Rihanna likes him, and seemed like based off of this, some people say, "Well, Rihanna got a type. You like men out here who be beating on women, Chris Brown, and then you like people out here who be beating on their friends, ASAP Rocky." So yeah, so in a powerful statement on January 22nd, because this is how long I've been holding on to this story until I can have it attached to another thing. Sharpton said that the LA chapter of the National Action Network drew attention to a stark racial disparity in the jury pool of the rapper's trial. The caption read, out of 106 people called to potentially sit as jurors in A$AP Rocky's trial in Los Angeles, there are only 4 Black people. The National Action Network founder stressed that in part that Rocky deserves to be judged fairly by his peers, as is his constitutional right. He further described in the lengthy statement the current jury composition as absolutely ridiculous and declared that something appears very wrong with the system. And they did question some of the people up in there where they said it took the two sides 2.5 days to pick the jurors from a pool of more than 100 candidates who packed into a downtown Los Angeles courtroom. Those chosen include a woman who is a podcast editor and actor, and a man who has worked for more than 20 years at Trader Joe's. Many were excused for cause, others sent away by one or two of the two sides. Each had 10 jurors they could excuse without a reason. The defense used 7 of their challenges, the prosecution just 2. Now, one man questioned Thursday works as a civilian with the LAPD, and his extensive ties to law enforcement, including a cousin who was on the case's witness list but is not expected to be called. Now, after the judge declined to dismiss him for the cause, Rocky's lawyer, Joe Tacopina, took him off the jury. Here's the shocker. We're going to thank and excuse juror number 27. They said attitudes towards police were a common topic during jury selection. In a heated moment, Superior Court Judge Mark Arnold, a former sheriff's deputy, questioned those who said they mistrusted police, nearly debating with some of them. He asked one woman, a speech pathologist, whether he would mistrust all speech pathologists based on his bad experience with one. When another woman brought up police corruption, Arnold demanded she tell me about the documented corruption at LAPD that you must have either read about or heard. When she brought up the Rodney King case, he asked, "You are going to hold against current police something that happened before they were born?" I'm like, damn, she's got a lot of triggers. So yeah, definitely take her ass off. Now, many questions were about about the fame of both Rocky and especially Rihanna, his longtime partner and mother of his 2 toddler children. She was not in court on Thursday, but she was there today. And it's not certain whether they was going to say whether or not she's going to show up during the trial. But like I said, she showed up today. So what if Rihanna comes here to court? Is it going to be hard for you to look over there and see the defendant's family and deliver a guilty verdict? This is what Deputy District Attorney John Leone asked one woman. After a long pause, she said yes. And that's another thing where it seems like a celebrity comes in the room, because we are so engulfed by celebrity that people have a hard time differentiating and separating themselves from a celebrity who could be capable of doing crazy stuff. Oh, because Rihanna's around now, I'm starstruck. And I'm sure that ASAP is counting on that. So, well, I'm just saying, like, whether or not he's guilty or innocent, her showing up definitely makes him look good. That the mother of his 2 children is standing by her man. Now, they said Rocky is accused of firing 3 or 4 shots at Terrell Efron, a friend from his teenage years, on the streets of Hollywood in 2021. Efron said the shots grazed his knuckles. Rocky has pleaded not guilty, and his lawyer said he wasn't even holding a real gun, but a starter pistol he used as a prop. So the further detail on that, because I wanted to give y'all the whole breakdown before we get to the assault trial. ASAP Rocky claimed that ASAP Rocky threatened his life with a gun, and he was willing to die for his respect. Now, with the trial underway, Relly, née Terrell Efren, took the stand on Tuesday to recount how the 2021 incident transpired. Now, days before the shooting, Terrell claims that Rocky called ASAP Bari and the two negatively spoke about him on the phone. The New York City native alleged that while he was asleep, Rocky sent him text messages asserting, "Let's get to it, stop ducking my calls," which he perceived as a threat on his life. Relly and Rocky then exchanged messages with the latter, asking him where he was staying at, implying that Rocky will pull up on him. Now, shortly after the conversation, Relly claims the rapper, née Rakim Mayers, showed up at his Hollywood hotel with two goons. An argument between Mayers and Efren were underway before Rocky allegedly pulled a firearm on his former associate. Now, Efren explained to the jury that he feared for his life as Rocky pulled the gun from his pants, leading to Relly yelling, "You better not use that ish. What the F you got a gun for?" The former ASAP mob member claimed that he was willing to die for my respect. "If that is what you want to do, I still have my dignity." Now, at this point, Relly recalls Rocky pulling the trigger, causing a bullet to graze his knuckles. When asked about the prop gun that Rocky and his attorney, Joe Tacopina, claimed he had, the former ASAP member claimed that he had never seen Rocky with a fake or real firearm before the altercation. So Tacopina and his client, Mayers, has maintained that Relly's recollection of the event is untrue and that Rocky is looking forward to taking the stand. That being said, ASAP Rocky's eager to tell his story and would love the opportunity to do so. He's very articulate and intelligent. He's a good human being that will come out if he testifies. But that decision isn't going to be made yet, and it depends on how the case goes. So, as I stated before, ASAP Rocky faces up to 24 years in prison if convicted on one count of assault with a semi-automatic firearm. So, yeah, that is the latest that we have on this story. And yeah, things is heating up. So, I just want to give you all an insight on this whole situation. So, what do y'all think of this story regarding ASAP Rocky and his current trial? Do you think that he might be guilty? And if he does plead guilty, it looked like Rihanna, your baby daddy ain't gonna be able to see his children and you until 25 years now. His kids gonna be grown by the time they see their father walking free in these streets again. So hopefully he don't go to jail if he didn't do it. But if you did, sir, look like you're gonna be doing the crime and the time. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Like you said, you subscribe to who? Immigrante. Is that a cappuccino? Immigrante. Like you said, Jay Acosta Substack for his future letters and shows. He even thinks of getting a Trump media pass as he's independent media and they're trying to reach and improve independent media. Can you imagine if Hassan Piker gets a pass and cusses her out for being annoying? Okay. Hassan probably wouldn't do it as he's not a media/news source, but rather a hot Twitch streamer that gives political commentary and leans left, and he probably wouldn't get accepted anyway. Yeah, because he just wants to keep the people that's within that just in lockstep with agreement with him. And I'm like, that's not real media if you just want a bunch of yes people around you. I don't get it, but it is what it is, chill. For now. Okay, so how many more topics we got? We got 4 more topics left in today's show. So before we get to those following 4, if you could please do me a solid and hit that like button and that subscribe button. Also, be sure to smash that notification bell so that way you know when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Allen Unfiltered. Also, be on the lookout for those timestamps that I'm going to put out once the stream is over. I'll put them in because I got to do it manually. Got to go through the show and do the edits and add the timestamps of each topic in there. So if you don't want to hear the banter that we do throughout the show, then you can go and just click right to the topics that you want to pay attention to in this podcast. Okay, so without further ado, let's talk about Miss Charli XCX, who apparently is not going to be performing at this year's Brit Awards because she going to be busy. So, shout out to her. And plus, she's still out here promoting Brat, which is everybody over the Brat era? Are we ready to move on to something else? But yeah, look, it seems like she's really trying to embed herself in America. Like she's selling herself like Kylie did during her, the tension era. Like she really putting a lot of energy and time and effort into the American market. I mean, I don't know if the tour is actually coming here again, but she's really selling up this brat era. So they said the Apple and 360 hitmaker won't be one of the musical guests at the televised award event because she's also due to appear on stage at the Grammy Awards on February 2nd, which is this coming Sunday in Los Angeles. The source said she decided it didn't feel right and she doesn't want the added pressure. She has planned a major performance at the Grammys and thought of doing the same again at the Brits, felt like it was too much. Now, Charli is still expected to attend the Brits but won't take the stage, the source claimed to The Sun. She says she is nominated in 5 categories, including Song of the Year for guests featuring Billie Eilish, Artist of the Year, Dance Act, Pop Act, and Album of the Year. Meanwhile, former Little Mix star Jade Thirlwall has been rumored to perform. Jade is nominated as a solo artist for the first time in the Pop Act and Song of the Year categories for her hit Angel of My Dreams, which I absolutely love. First of all, have y'all heard the remix of Angel of My Dreams? There's a remix version where, and I forget the name of the DJs, but I first discovered them on TikTok and they added it to like their little remix thing that they did on Apple Music. They mixed Angel of My Dreams with the beat of Never, what is it, Better Off Alone by Alice DJ. I'm like, bitch, when I heard that song for the first time, I gagged because I loved Alice DJ back in the day. They did like cheesy, trancy dance music. And when somebody went and incorporated that, they put Jade's vocals over that beat. I was like, oh my God, that's perfect. I need that as a full song, by the way. So any DJs out there, because somebody make me a version and send it to me. But anyway, so speaking on the Brit Awards, they said speaking on the Bring on the Brits with MasterCard, they said the 2025 nomination live stream with presenter Sean Welby as host. Jade said on the nominations, as a band, we were nominated a few times, and that's amazing, but we have won 3 Brit Awards over the last 10 years. But when it's for your own music and my own personal experiences, it does hit different and it feels special. She continued, when I first started the solo journey, I was writing a lot of music to exist outside of the group and fit as my own. But the minute I wrote Angel of My Dreams, that is when I knew that this was my sound. When questioned if she had told her fellow Little Mix bandmates about the nomination, Jade said, I've not even told me, ma'am. It's good to know the English. There is a lot of people to tell, and when it will feel real, and then you will get to the Brit Awards, it will feel like it's finally happening. Now, this year's Brit Awards is being helmed by Jack Whitehall, who has previously hosted the show 4 times. Well, this must be a Trevor Noah type situation because it's like you got Jack Whitehall, who's hosted a couple of times, and then you got, Trevor Noah over at the Grammys hosting it. This will be his 5th time, I believe. The 36-year-old comedian hosted the awards from 2018 to 2021 and will be back this year to take control of the proceedings again. There was also a rumor that the remaining members of One Direction could reunite for the Brits and take the stage to honor Liam Payne, who died in October of last year. Now, sources have suggested that the remaining members, Zayn Malik, Harry Styles, Louis Tomlinson, and Niall Horan, could come together again for a performance in tribute to their late bandmate. A source told The Sun, the tribute to Liam at this year's award show has caused a real buzz and speculation that the remaining One Direction bandmates could finally come back together again on stage. It would be an entirely fitting way to honor Liam, and talks are already underway about how to make this segment unforgettable. So I'm actually hoping that happens. And while I am pretty much bummed that Charli is not going to be performing at the Brit Awards, because I definitely want to check it out this year. Like, it feels like, okay, we got my girl Jade and we got, performing, and I do like her music. A lot of the songs that she's been, I hope she performs It Girl too. But that's my song, Chad. So if she performs that, and she could do Angel of My Dreams, but I really feel like somebody put it out there, get her to do the Better Off Alone Alex DJ beat over that song, because that remix is actually pretty lit. So if she could actually do that, because remember, they would do that as, some artists would do that. It's like, if you actually create a remix, I think Madonna did that at one point. Somebody went and created a remix that was so good that she actually incorporated on her tour. So I was like, I like when artists actually do that when they hear something and it's like, you know what, I heard it and I want to bring it in. Or remember, like when they did "Can't Get You Out of My Head," but they put the New Order beat over it, and I was like, oh my god, that song, it elevates the song even more. So if they do that, that would be dope. It's unfortunate that, I guess Charli gets overwhelmed. So she's like, I don't want to do two shows and then I gotta try to outdo what I did over there and over there. So it can be overwhelming because people don't realize like how long it takes to come up with a concept, the rehearsal, putting stuff together. Like it's just crazy. And they could be overwhelming at times, especially when both award shows are like so close to each other. But what I'm hoping is if Charli is going to be performing at the Grammys, well, when she performs at the Grammys, I should say, because it's been confirmed that she is, that she can give us a way more than her just stand up on that damn stage by herself, talking about hands up and jumping around like a damn child having a seizure. Like I want full on performance. Like if you talk about that, it's going to be epic. I'm hoping you're gonna have dancers and all the other people accompanying you up there, and it's not just gonna be you like you was doing during the damn Sweat tour. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? Are you bummed that Charli XCX will not be, according to the reports, not performing at the Brit Awards, but she will be performing this coming Sunday at the Grammys? So whatever your thoughts on this team, let me know in the comments down below. Felix said, yeah, Madanta used my friend Dense 54's remix of Like a Virgin on the Rebel Heart. See, I knew somebody did it. That she would hear mixes and stuff. It's like, oh yeah, that's cute. I'll use it for my tour. It said he had done that remix originally around 2009 because the original version of the remix, it has some of the sounds from the Blonde Ambition tour too. So yeah. So I like when artists actually have their ears to the streets and they actually do us that solid. And it's like they will incorporate those mixes and stuff to the tour. Okay, so let's talk about Miss Zoe Saldana because she is getting all this praise for Emilia Pérez, which has become one of the most polarizing movies of 2025 in regards to the Oscar nominations. There's members of the trans community and there's members of GLAAD that are upset that they feel like this movie is taking us back, or taking trans people back decades over their portrayal of you have this person who starts out as a man who is in the mob, and then all of a sudden they go and transition to become a woman, and they're feeling like that to escape their past. But I think that thematically, if you can get through the muck and the telenovela melodrama of it all, to me, I feel like if you always felt that you were a trans woman, but you couldn't live your life because you were a man and you had to be a certain way to get things going in the world and to leave that world behind. Now you feel like you're at a point in your life where you could transition to become the woman you intended to be. But the overall arc of the film is, regardless of what you do, if you change your gender, you cannot escape your past. It doesn't matter. Your past will come back to haunt you, especially when you've had a career of doing deplorable things to people. So that's what I took from it, even though the movie was not that good. But that penis to vagina song is still in my head, and how the band singing and stuff, penis to vagina, that the band singing with that. But look, so Zoe Saldana is one of the women that's getting Best Supporting Actress nominations, getting a lot of praise. But an old film that she did where she played Nina Simone, which you see on the right, has come back to haunt her. And apparently, people wanted to take to social media to remind her of this movie, which I never saw. I didn't even know the Nina Simone movie even came out. I thought they permanently shelved it or something. But apparently, it was released. So after over 2 decades in the business, Saldana received her first Oscar nomination on January 23rd for Best Supporting Actress in the Netflix film Emilia, Pérez. However, that celebration was short-lived when a few days later, unforgiving critics reminded their social media peers, online trolls that always want to play into that. Oh, the things you did in the past, we still haven't moved on. You did. You just wanted to bring it up just because y'all want attention and clout on social media. So let's give it to you. In the words of my girl, Jasmine Kennedy, here's your moment. Have it. So They said that Unforgiving creators reminded their social media peers in the controversial moment when Saldana portrayed American singer and civil rights activist Nina Simone in the 2016 biopic Nina. Now, in the film, Saldana, whose complexion is several shades lighter than Simone's, wore dark foundation and body makeup to match the singer's deep skin tone. She completed the look with a shortcut wig and prosthetic nose. This move caused much anger among fans who believe the role should have gone to a darker skinned actress, especially because Simone was very vocal about her struggles as a darker skinned woman. Simone's daughter, Lisa Simone Kelly, also weighed in on the decision to cast Saldana as the beloved songwriter, saying, quote, there are many superb actresses of color who could more adequately represent my mother and could bring her to the screen with the proper script, the proper team, and a sense of wanting to bring the truth of my mother's journey to the masses. This is what she said this is what she told Time. And Nina, in my opinion, doesn't do any of that. Now, though Kelly was clear to say that she did not hold ill will towards Saldana and found it unfortunate that the actress was being attacked when the filmmakers were truly to blame, and this is what I keep saying to people. Why do y'all always go after the actors? It's not their fault. They're just there to do a role. And so Zoe, who was in her 40s, I'm sure she grew up listening to Nina Simone. That was before her time, but that was like music our parents was listening to. My parents was listening to Nina Simone, and I was growing up hearing that. She wasn't of my time, but it's like, yeah, when you're a kid, you listen to what your parents listen to, especially when your parents are boomers. So I totally see that for her, it's an honor for her to play that role because she's probably thinking Oscar and they're going to take me seriously as an actress and all this other stuff. So it's a challenge for her to want to play this part. So I don't necessarily think we should blame her, but people are quick to blame celebrities because they're the ones you see on the screen. When you should blame the casting director for thinking that this was a great idea, you should thank the filmmaker or blame the filmmakers who felt like the only way that their movie was going to get made is if you get a Zoe Saldana to play the part. Especially because, yeah, Zoe was a big star at the time. She was doing a lot of big movies. She was in um, Guardians of the Galaxy. She had done Columbiana. She had done a lot of big movies. So she's been around for a minute. And at the end of the day, they're all about let's get a name. But we got to get butts in seats. So we got to get a name. It's not about whether or not the chick is even of the hue. And when you look at Zoe, she is a woman of color, whether y'all want to think about it or not. She is Dominican, Puerto Rican, and Haitian. So she got black up in her, and she identifies as a black woman at the end of the day. So I totally understand that. But I do agree, like, the whole thing of where y'all pick her, but then y'all went up in there with that horrible ass cakey foundation. Y'all should have, this point, you should have just got yourselves a damn drag queen. Or maybe what you should have did, if you want to get a good hue, a darkness, you should have hired RuPaul's makeup artist, Raven, to beat her face. At least you would have got some convincing blackface. So now, one day after Saldana's Oscar nomination was announced, celebrity celebrations derailed as Twitter users resurfaced Saldana's poor choice in accepting the role as Nina Simone. Zoe's performance has the most give me an Oscar energy, and for that reason, I hope she doesn't get one. LOL. I'm still mad about Nina, I suppose, but child, you need to go outside and touch fucking grass if that's what you're thinking about. And yeah, so let me see. This is the picture. Hold on, because no shade, but this looks really bad. This definitely looks really bad here. I was like, what is that? And how does that translate on screen? Another person said, can't believe she still has a career, to be honest. This was crazy. Days later, another Twitter user shared side by side of Saldana in character versus in real life. Well, I just showed y'all that picture where I had on my previous post. Then they wrote, WTF do you mean Zoe Saldana wore a prosthetic nose and painted herself darker to play as Nina Simone? The fuck? Boo everyone who that's responsible for this. Well, first of all, how do you say and painted herself? She didn't paint herself. Do y'all not realize that this goes to show none of y'all have been on a movie set? When I've been on movie sets, I don't put my makeup on. People do that for me. And the same thing with her. And I guarantee you, well, I don't know if I could necessarily say I guarantee because I don't know. But for the most part, there have been overall complaints that there aren't any Black makeup artists that are on a lot of these sets when it comes down to it. So I would not be surprised if they had white crew members behind the scenes, especially a white makeup artist who was putting dark foundation on her. And she's trusting them, thinking, oh, it's going to read different on camera. Oh, child, it definitely reads dark. I mean, reads different on camera. Like, they got you out here looking like you literally, it's giving Soul Man tease. That makeup looks pretty terrible on her. But like I said, I don't blame her, but she had to come out on the apology tour. Y'all should have been blaming the people that worked on the movie. And she did address the scandal, so we can talk about that. Now, the first was in 2016, the same year the movie came out. Saldana spoke out during an interview with Allure magazine, which they said has since been taken down from the site, but it has been reported by multiple outlets. She suggested that the script would have been lying around and no one would have done it if she wouldn't have. She said, I made a choice. Do I continue passing on the script and hope that the right Black person will do it? Or do I say, you know what? Whatever consequences this may bring about, my casting is nothing in comparison to the fact that this story must be told. So that's what she was looking at. Is like, you know what? I'll take the backlash. I'll take the beating. But at the end of the day, Nina Simone's story, because she was such an icon in music, this story needs to be told. Now, I haven't seen the film, so I don't know if they address her overall feelings regarding her features, her broad nose, and her skin tone, which, especially in Hollywood, when it comes down to colorism and featureism, these are things that people don't want to talk about. But it is an issue, especially when you're a person of color. How they love to bring that up and throw it in your face. So I don't know if that was addressed in the film. And hopefully, if this is something you want to tell it, you'll be able to embrace it and show, like, at the end of the day, I'm a beautiful Black woman. And you want to, well, or as Maya Angelou would say, I'm a phenomenal woman. A phenomenal woman is you. But if that movie wouldn't have got made at the time, we could have waited down the road. We could have got Viola Davis to possibly play Nina Simone. And that would have been a good casting choice. Or some other actress. But we know, like in 2016, there wasn't really, they weren't really looking at Black actors like that. We still got a long way to go with that in that situation. Now, speaking to the issues people have with her as a light-skinned woman playing someone of a darker complexion, she said the following: there is no one way to be Black. I'm Black, the way I know how to be. You have no idea who I am. I am Black. I am raising Black men. Don't you ever think you can look at me and address me with such disdain. Now, as I told you before, she is Dominican, Puerto Rican, and Haitian. She also hit back at those who felt she was disrespecting Simone by getting a prosthetic nose to play the role. She said, I never saw her as unattractive. Nina looks like half my family. But if you think the prosthetic nose I wore was unattractive, then maybe you need to ask yourself, what do you consider beautiful? Do you consider a thinner nose beautiful? So the wider you get, the more insulted you become? Now, in 2020, Saldana reflected on her decision to play the young, gifted, and Black singer once more and seemingly had a more remorseful response and said, I should have never played Nina. This is what she said in an interview with Stephen Canals, who or maybe you don't know, but I'm going to tell you, he actually is one of the co-creators behind Pose. I actually have that interview from the Instagram where it was like they did it with Bessie, I think it's called Bese, and she sat down with Stephen Canals and they talked about it. And I have it linked on my website if y'all want to check that out. Or you can just go over to Bese on Instagram and watch the whole video. She said, I should have done everything in my power with the leverage I had 10 years ago, which was a different leverage, but it was a leverage nonetheless. I should have done everything in my power to cast a Black woman to play an exceptionally perfect Black woman. And I guess maybe she wasn't looking at it. She was looking at it as, I'm an actress and I'm going to play the part, even though I'm not her complexion, because I want to get this movie made and possibly get some award recognition, which is what it seemed like a lot of times when actors want to take on these parts, that's what they want. They want that award recognition, which can seem like it's a bit of pandering, but I can see why she did what she did. But I think like maybe she had those rose-colored glasses on and she didn't realize with the makeup and everything, it was going to be problematic. And so I wanted people to just see it from that perspective. It's like, or maybe what it is, look, she played Gamora. She played a woman as a green alien warrior. And then she played a Navi, which is blue. And now you wearing this Black foundation. You've been getting painted up throughout your career with so many billion-dollar films that you've done that maybe you had the rose-colored glasses, or you really didn't think like, okay, now I'm playing a real-life character, and this might be considered problematic. So it could be a plethora of things. So she said, with that said, well, she said, I thought back then that I had the permission to play her because I was a Black woman, and I am. But it was Nina Simone, and Nina had a life, and she had a journey that should have been and should be honored to the most specific detail because she was a specifically detailed individual. She deserved better. With that said, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I know better today, and I'm never going to do that again. And so, yeah, she was young, and when you know better, you do better. So I think we should all move on from that. And if people still want to hold grudges regarding that situation because of, y'all is on this damn hate train and y'all want to find a reason to hate on this movie, which a lot of people are, from a lot of sides, are hating on Emilia Pérez, and you have every right to feel how you feel. To me, I feel like the only person that deserves award recognition would be the lead actress and Zoe. Everything else, I don't understand the 13 nominations. I really don't. And this film should not be getting a Best Picture nomination. That should have went to Dune or something, or Best Director should have gone to Denis Villeneuve. I don't understand what y'all was thinking. I feel like y'all trying to overcompensate with this film. So, controversy aside, I'm Team Zoe on this. She's apologized. She learned her lesson. Everybody, let's move on. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below. Said not Soul Man. Oh yeah. I told remember Soul Man? That makeup was a mess. I took y'all back to the 80s. Shout out to C. Thomas Howell. I remember seeing that when I was like on VHS. At least this makeup is better than Jamie Lee's makeup in the last show. Oh, was she looking messy up in there? Were they trying to make her look like a little hillbilly type? Okay, so now let's get to this mess. Speaking about colorism and featureism, or people don't know what race they ass is. Let's talk about Miss Amber Rose because she said she don't give up that she was canceled over her unwavering support for the Orange Man, number 47, who's currently burning America to the goddamn ground. So apparently, Miss Mamas is on the cover of Maxim. Child, first of all, sidebar. I didn't even know Maxim was still a thing. I didn't know Maxim was still around. Who's still reading Maxim? But nevertheless, with all that aside, let's get into the story. So she said, the 41-year-old model basically admitted she lost fans for when Trump was running for re-election, but is not too worried as she still is on the cover of Maxim. For her February 2025 cover story, she addressed the criticism and also revealed she is considering her own future. Not girl, no. Now the bitch want to get into politics. It's like, girl, you couldn't even make your slut walk happen. That happened like a couple of years. Nobody took your ass seriously. And now here you want to keep the grift going because you want to get into politics. I guess because Trump makes it so easy, right? Now, during the election, I was canceled and she recalled, now all the naysayers are quiet. They see he's already changing our country for the better. Is this bitch blind? Better where? He's cutting all kinds of things, including and he's even affecting his own maggots, who, quiet as it's kept, a lot of that welfare, food stamps, SNAP program, whatever the hell you want to call it, all these things y'all need, cutting Medicaid and all these other things. Who's benefiting from that the most? Red states, the very states that Trump and his administration relied on to get their votes. So for you to talk about he's changing the country for the better, can someone please, whenever these idiots go around and mention this, can y'all give me one example? Or not even one. One is too easy. Give me 3 examples of where he's changing the country for the better. Because based on all the stuff I'm getting in my feed all damn day, everybody out here losing their shit. Everybody's freaking out. So making it better for who? Because your ass is not being affected? So the reality star who responded to the major backlash she received in October 2024 that she accused Beyonce of copying her speech at a Kamala Harris rally, criticized people with left-leaning political views, and stressed the importance of having more open conversations. Well, I wish that it worked on the other side as well, because there always is like, oh, we're crybabies, we're snowflakes, we're too woke, we're all those things. Whenever we want to have a genuine conversation, and I've tried to have conversations with maggots, but it's no reasoning with them. Some of y'all are so far gone, deep in the cold, drinking the Jim Jones Kool-Aid that it's like you can't get through to them. Or if you try to give them something where it's an example of you're incorrect and this is why, and nobody is, and then they want to accuse you, oh, you're a lib, and no, I'm not, because trust and believe, I read the lib, the left, if y'all want to call it. There is no left. I've been trying to tell y'all there's no such thing as left leaning anything. Most of these liberals lean right in a lot of ways, or they're center. Well, I guess we can call it conservative a bit. Like they're not progressive in any way. In fact, they don't even like Democrats. Don't even like progressives. And y'all know I read both sides down to the ground on this show. So there's no one-sidedness when it comes to stuff. In fact, a lot of times on that side, the side she wants to grift on, because nobody gave a fuck about her goddamn slut walk and all the other shenanigans she was doing. This bitch can't even keep a man. First man moved on. Who knows what the hell Wiz is doing. And then her other baby daddy done left her for an 80-some-year-old woman. So Granny Coochie is better than her old tired ass pussy. And she in her 40s. So he left somebody for someone 40 years older than her. So she said, unfortunately, the woke left cancels people for having a different ideology. Really? Because the left be awfully quiet. I just think the problem with the left, since you want to call it that, is that they're scared to have any kind of opinion about anything because they don't want to get dragged. They don't want to deal with any kind of backlash. So they get afraid to talk and say stuff. That's my problem with the Democrats. But when it comes to her side, or the people she like to run around with, no, they're the ones who decide to fire you, cancel you, remove all your credentials or whatever if you have a different ideology than theirs. And I always say that whenever you point one finger, the other four are pointing towards yourself. And that's clearly what she's doing here. But she said, fortunately for me, I don't give a fuck and will always stand 10 toes down until the wheels cut off. Regardless of what my beliefs may be, yeah, when the grift is dry, when that well runs dry and that grift is done, then she gonna come backpedaling back over here on our side. We know how a lot of you grifters work. Y'all go where the wind blows. Now, Rose also reflected on her past preference for liberal-leaning policies and explained why she changed her political stance in recent years, saying, I used to be on the left and thought I was doing the right thing. That's why it's so important to have open conversations. She also said she believes that there's no objective truth and only feelings from left-leaning individuals. Really? Well, here's the thing. I always say facts are not feelings. And when we try to present y'all with facts, y'all get in y'all feelings. So as a society, we need to get back to reality and have these difficult conversations to bring us back to a better place. Well, when did Trump do that during his campaign? I'll wait. When did he offer or have any kind of difficult conversation? All he did was talk about trans people in sports, when literally it's only like less than 1% of trans people in sports. But that was y'all focus. Y'all was so focused on trans people and trans people using restrooms when aren't all bathrooms unisex, including the bathrooms y'all all share in your own fucking house? Like, if you got a house of 6, you think y'all got separate bathrooms? The girls got to go over there, the boys got to go over there? No, all y'all put y'all asses on the same fucking toilet. So I don't understand why all of a sudden now everybody got this issue about sharing bathrooms. And even at my job, we have women that sometimes, I remember the other day, I was up in there taking a leak at the urinal and a girl came out the stall. I didn't judge it. I've been to many clubs and stuff when I've had to share bathrooms with women and men. Who cares? And none of the times they would try to do anything sexual to me or any kind of assault. So I don't understand where all this is coming from. There's a lot of fear mongering because y'all never really had to interact with people that's different than who you are. So y'all want to use this as a damn excuse because Y'all got some other inner kind of demon or type of weird shit that y'all are into, and you probably thinking that you see that trans girl, you might actually like it. And quiet as it's kept, a lot of y'all be low key trying to hit up them same girls and dudes that y'all be fearing. I've seen it. So I don't know who y'all out here for, and I guarantee you them same politicians over here trying to roll back stuff about the homosexuals and the transgenders, they were the main ones that be up in their hotel room, probably on that Tucci, whatever how the fuck you say it, with a trans girl slobbing a knob while they in a white robe in the chair in their at the I was gonna say the Motel 6. We can't do that to them. The Holiday Inn or whatever, or the Beverly Hills Hotel. We've seen it. We've heard the stories. Where's Madison Hawthorne? Remember he was spilling tea about the Republicans and what they was doing at their own versions of freak offs and how he disappeared. We haven't heard from him ever since. So it'd be nice if we can get back to reality and have these difficult conversations to bring us all back to a better place. If y'all willing to meet us halfway, but you're not willing to listen. Y'all just so happy y'all won because y'all feel like y'all own the libs. That is like, we can't have a real conversation in regards of how do we make this country better? We're all sitting here fighting amongst each other while these billionaires and these politicians and these oligarchs continue to take a lot more of the piece of the pie and leave us with nothing. We need to get away from that and stop listening to these damn celebrities on both sides, the Amber Roses and the Beyoncés or whatever. Like, don't only pipe out because y'all want to sit up here and just start saying what y'all saying. I don't think and well, look, if celebrities have the wherewithal and the mental capacity to get up there and put politics into what they're doing, they have every right to do it. There's some people who incorporate that in their music. But I ain't getting up there doing no full on, press conference like I'm Reverend Al Sharpton. I ain't doing all that. That ain't in my ministry. But I applaud those who do. But then, of course, she wanted to let us know that she got a new venture coming. She said, I'm excited to announce my new show. It'll be my opinion on politics and other current events. So, Lord, here we go. Another tired-ass celebrity who think just because they got a fucking mouth that they could just stick a microphone in front of it and just give their opinion and hope that they can get some money on Spotify. And that's what it probably is. She probably coming the next one coming out with a freaking podcast. But we'll see how you fill out these spaces. She sees what's going on with the Theo Vaughns and the Joe Rogans. Everybody's trying to jump on that grift. Even they're grifting. Like Joe Rogan. He was never somebody who leaned MAGA the way he is now. He was somebody who was for trans rights. He was somebody who was for Medicare for all. He was somebody who very much was progressive in a lot of his political beliefs. I guess until they started throwing money at his ass, he changed his mind. So, yeah. So here's the full cover, if y'all care. And here she is out here going hard for Trump. And to me, she'd be the perfect type of girl that he would have invited back to his hotel, and she'd be filing a lawsuit against years later, accusing him of the R word. Or she'd be out here like spreading her coochie for coins, getting with a Trump type. She gives very that. So then she went and said, she told millions of Americans, Donald Trump and his supporters don't care if you're black, white, gay, or straight. It's all love. Oh, yeah, they don't care if you're black, white, gay, or straight. As long as they get them votes. And now that he's gotten his votes, he don't need y'all no more. Because you see, like, he's trying to roll back every right that we've come so far to help build. They're going after gay marriage, from what I heard. I forget specifically in what state, but they're going after it. They're already going after Juneteenth and Black History Month. And somebody actually said in a press conference that we're not even going, that Black History Month, that they're looking to celebrate just the historical moment in American culture. That ain't her words, I'm paraphrasing. She didn't even acknowledge that Black History Month was in February, which is what a lot of them are doing. They're trying to erase history. So what the hell is Zebra talking about? And yes, I can say that because I am of mixed race as well. So get off my line with this bullshit. So I say all this to say, What do y'all think of this donkey and what she had to say in regards in her latest issue of Maxim magazine, a magazine I didn't even know was still a damn round. So whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below. Okay. I was like, we got a lot of comments. Oh. So Roro says, I think people just hate that Zoe was gaslighting us back in 2016. They gave Jamie a spread. Oh, well, she probably because you know what? She's probably trying to play like one of those, like what was it, like Tan Mom or something like that, like one of those hillbilly types. Not much to cancel her for. That's why I said it's like who out here first of all checking for Amber Rose because you talking about cancel. I'm like, first of all, one must give a fuck about you, bitch, before they even think about canceling you. Anybody thinking about Amber damn Rose? She ain't that important. You ain't kind. You ain't smart. You damn sure ain't important. Straight people are asking me what rights are going away for the gays. Did you present them with the information? Because is it like, are y'all blind? Are you dumb? Like, how do you not know what's about to go away? I just sent you a picture of how Jamie looked in the movie. Hold on. Let me look into the phone. In the middle of the night, I've been walking in my sleep. Why is that damn song in my head? I know that sounds like a weem away, a weem away. That song, but it's what's his name? Billy Joel. Oh girl. Oh yeah, she do look bad. And it got the titties perked up. She don't even need implants for that. Like or one of those breastplates that they be using on Drag Race. Like the boobs is natural. But I can see what it is. She was probably supposed to be one of those white women that been out in the sun too long and their skin gets a little leathery. I forgot what I was watching, but somebody said they like people with leathery skin. I was like, not me. I don't like. Oh, I think it was Fashion Photo Review, one of those shows where they was talking about they like the leathery skin. And they don't get it. Anyone who asks that obviously has no gay friends. That part. Sunny Hostin accidentally on The View snitched on her husband live on TV. Several articles are saying that the gaffe led to the Rico case. Are you talking about that video clip that I played when I first started talking about the case where she was talking about that what is it? That her husband be having to go tooth and nail to go to these insurance companies because they don't want to be paying for the surgeries that he does on them. Would it be that? Because they was probably saying, yeah, when she brought that clip up on when she talked about that on the show, that that might have been what caused him to go after him. Because I did play that as a clip. I have to go back to the archives and look at that one. Want to be Candace Owens? Okay. Anybody excited? Hell no. I saw that when I did that story, and I saw like this what stuff she was talking about. She was somebody was going to be something like the Coen brothers. I'm like, girl, if you don't sit your tight ass there. Like Roseanne, you just stupid girl. Can't even talk. I'm so over her. I was like, you are a has-been. And I'm glad this is the final season of The Connors. I don't know how that show lasted as long as it did. It's not even funny. But y'all like it, I love it. Joe Rogan has been dethroned on spot. Oh, has he? Who dethroned him? Inquiring minds want to know. But anyway, child, let's get into our final topic and let's talk about Austin Wolf. I know I done edged y'all long enough for this one, a good almost damn near 2.5 hours. So apparently, I'm sure y'all all waiting with bated breath to find out if this damn case of him allegedly, well, I don't know, well, yeah, we'll still go with alleged, even though I did a whole 26, damn near 30-minute video on the breakdown of what happened. That one's a lie. But if y'all want to check that out, it's in the archives. I did put it out as a little short thingy. Y'all can definitely check that out if you want to go further in details. I don't want to go into further details on this one. But yeah, so he was charged with having footage of children in compromising positions. And then he was even going to arrange a meeting with one. Child, I wish To Catch a Predator was still around. But anyway, so a federal judge in New York has once again granted an additional 30-day continuance in Wolf's federal child rise with pornography case. This is the seventh time, just since we keeping a tally, that this has happened since his initial arrest in June of 2024. So they said the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York has extended the timeline in case of United States versus Justin Heath Smith, also known as Austin Wolf. Now, Smith was arrested on June 28, 2024 on charges related to child exploitation materials and has been in custody since. The court has granted multiple extensions to allow time for discussions between Smith's attorneys and federal prosecutors about a possible resolution. On Monday, the court approved another 30-day extension, giving both sides until until February 26th to continue working on the case. I don't understand why they keep saying like between his attorneys and federal prosecutors to try to come to a resolution. I don't think there's going to ever be a resolution in this situation. Like if they have you dead to rights with a lot of the stuff that we broke down that allegedly they said that they had when they read down his rights and everything that they said that they had on him, what kind of resolution are you going to come to? Like Austin, I don't think you get out of jail. I think your ass is going to be in the jail for a long, long time. So you're not getting, I don't see that you're getting out. So yeah, for those of you who need a reminder, because we have to continue to remind people on here, because people have the memory of a damn gnat. Justin E. Smith, the 42-year-old content creator known as Austin Wolf, is being held in detention in Brooklyn after a judge ruled that he was a danger to the public and a flight risk. Smith faces federal child porn charges and has been accused of sending and receiving hundreds of videos of CP, according to a press release from the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Southern District of New York. Now, court documents from the Southern District of New York allege that Wolf used the messaging app Telegram to share videos with another individual who prosecutors say were an undercover FBI agent. The search conducted in April of Wolf's Manhattan apartment uncovered an SD card containing hundreds of illegal videos, according to prosecutors. The videos reportedly depict minors, including prepubescent children and infants, in explicit situations. So if they said that they have all of that, he ain't getting out. But then they also said that, a spokesperson for Justin has declined to comment on this situation because the advocate contacted the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Southern District. And they said that Thomas H. Andrikowitz, who represents Justin Smith, told the advocate that his client is being held in terrible conditions, blah, 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 so on and so forth. Well, honey, I'm sorry, but prisons aren't a country club. So if you're thinking that your client is going to be well taken care of while he's in there, that's just not how the prison system works. And I'm sure if you went to other countries, they got it way worse than your client does out here. So yeah, that's the latest on this whole Austin Wolf case. So I guess when it comes down to it, we'll be back here in February. They said February 26th. They haven't decided to come up to the conclusion. But since it's 28 days in February, maybe we'll be here on the 27th or the 28th where I'll be giving y'all the latest. And more than likely, I'll probably be in here telling y'all the same thing I've been telling y'all for the past couple of every month that we brought to this conclusion, which is this mess has been delayed yet again. We're just getting kind of tired and annoying. But I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story? Y'all just like, can y'all just get this damn trial going already? Or whatever your thoughts are on this situation, let me know in the comments down below. All right. So, any more questions, comments, and concerns before I get up off here? Because that was the last topic. I need that water. I went out earlier to this Mexican restaurant. The food was good. What else? Oh, they had this cute little drink, but I was like, it was a small little cup. I had like this Mexican bowl where it had like some steak up in it. It was really good. And, I love me some guacamole. I can eat guacamole all day. It's just good. I love the taste. Then I got cruised by this hot guy in Harlem. I was like, oh, hey, Danny. Gave me that look and gave that head, and I was like, I know you get down. The children, they always know, honey. But anyway, it's better than grind time. So, yeah. So I have to say thank you all for tuning in to this latest episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. If you have not already, please do me a solid and hit that like button and that subscribe button. And also be sure to smash the notification bell so that way when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. I want to thank everybody that was in the comments chatting along with me with the show. I also want to thank Cleveland and Robert for the super stickers. Thank you very much. That'll go into my Trader's prize pot. I'm gonna start calling it the prize pot, like they be doing on the Traders with Alan Cumming. So yeah, we'll be back tomorrow with a brand new episode. Spilling more tea. You said show Thursday night before your 3-day weekend. Well, you'll probably get a show Thursday and you'll probably get one Friday. We'll see how all that goes. But yeah, we'll definitely have a show tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday, right? Yeah. Well, I'll be back. Spend a little tea because I'm out in Harlem right now. So love you all for watching. Until next time. Ciao, darlings.